location, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So, of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The MLB Spotlight tonight on the cities of Los Angeles and Chicago in a pair of Game 4s in the National League Division Series. Dodgers home to the Phillies, 5:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. LA's Tyler Glasnow makes his first postseason start since 2023 when he was with Tampa. It's Christopher Sanchez for Philadelphia. Cubs facing elimination, a second straight game against the Brewers, and it's all hands on deck pitching-wise for Chicago, which will look for starter Matthew Boyd to perform like Jameson Taillon did last night, notes ESPN MLB analyst Doug Glanville.
Guys have to double up with these days off in the series. Everybody's rested enough, so they're all available, and they're going to have to find a way to execute a little better if they want to win. But Taillon set the tone, and they're going to need that kind of, 4 innings, 5 innings, at least set up the bullpen enough that you can get the best high-leverage matchups, especially at home.
Game 4, 8:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Freddie Peralta counters for Milwaukee. NFL Chiefs pass rusher Chris Jones today owned up to not chasing down Trevor Lawrence on the Jags quarterback's late game-winning touchdown scamper in Monday night's loss.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Cannon coming up Friday as the Jags and Seahawks get set to face off. I'll tell you if Trevor Lawrence and Sam Darnold have done enough to be in my quarterback trust tree. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6 right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical, concierge nursing all over Louisiana, not just Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Thursday, we are steamrolling toward the weekend. Fantasy Blitz is later this hour. We've got Bill Bender of the Sporting News coming up in hour number 2. Lee Sterling with his best bets. Another 4-1 week for your boy Lee Sterling. Jay Phillips talking some Gamecocks. We got Mike Triplett in hour 3. A ton to do, but let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Saints got a win on Sunday, their first of the season. And now they try to make it 2-0 against the New England Patriots this Sunday at the Dome. But in the midst of this week, there was a little bit of news from a Pittsburgh radio station. Andrew Filipponi is on 93.7 The Fan there in Pittsburgh. And I would assume that this would be a legitimate source. He got 122,000 followers on Twitter. He's with 93.7 The Fan there in Pittsburgh, which is an Odyssey station. So a legitimate entity. And he tweeted earlier on Thursday, citing a source, that the Pittsburgh Steelers reached out to the New Orleans Saints during the bye week. I'm reading this tweet. The Steelers reach out to the Saints during their bye week to take their temperature on wide receiver Rashid Shaheed, who will be a free agent at the end of the year. Big play wide receiver and return man trades are being made in the NFL left and right. Which begs a very interesting question, because as we get closer to the NFL trade deadline, the Saints are going to have some interesting decisions to make about this roster. Who are cornerstone pieces you want to build around, and what are pieces you can trade to get assets to build your roster further. So Shaheed's a really interesting one. And remember, when we talk about trades, you're not just trading the player, you're also trading the contract. It's a very, very, very important piece to remember that people often overlook when we have these conversations. So, for example, Rasheed Shaheed is still on his undrafted free agent rookie deal. So Shaheed's deal, as of right now, after his UDFA deal, he signed a 1-year, $5.2 million contract. Shaheed did. So you're talking about a guy that is on a very, very team-friendly, affordable deal because he came into the NFL as a UDFA. He missed a chunk of last season due to injury. And so the Saints were able to get him he's 26 years old on a relatively inexpensive deal. So you look at Shaheed for the rest of the year, and it wouldn't really make an awful lot of sense for New Orleans, like financially, to move on from Shaheed right now. Like, they have a team-friendly deal. He's your best receiver right now. He's your big play threat at an 87-yard touchdown against the Giants. He's really good for you in the return game. Like, he is overperforming. He is overperforming his contract value. The tricky part is that Shaheed is going to be a free agent after this season. And so with Shaheed being a free agent after this season, you got to make a decision. What is Rasheed Shaheed worth? Like, are you going to invest into Rasheed Shaheed with a long-term deal? Now, we can all understand, based on productivity, ceiling, all that stuff, he is not Jamar Chase. He is not Justin Jefferson. He is not A.J. Brown. Rasheed Shaheed is not a top 5, top 10 receiver in the NFL, but he's your best guy. So what is he worth? He's not a guy that's going to get $20, $30, $40 million a year, like the guys I just mentioned. But you're paying him right now $5 million. Is he worth 10, 12, 15 million a year? You got to make that determination. Are you willing to invest 2, 3, 4 years into Rasheed Shaheed? I don't know, he's 26 years old. Like, so for the Saints, you answer the question, do you want Rasheed Shaheed on your team? Yes, of course. He's a good player. You scouted him. You hit as a UDFA. You gave him the 1-year deal this year to remain with the team. He's playing very well. You want him to be on the team. Okay. What are you willing to pay him in the future? You have to have that number in your mind and then determine if that falls in line with what Shaheed and his representation will be seeking after the season. Because if you have a number what you think Shaheed is worth and they think he's worth more, then he's going to go test free agency. And it may come to pass that he goes and tests free agency and the market isn't robust as he thinks or hopes it might, and he ends up back in New Orleans on a good deal. Or you lose him in free agency. Those are the two possibilities. So you ask yourself, number one, are you willing to pay Shaheed what you feel market value is, and does he agree, his representation agree with what market value is, what his market value is in the NFL? And then beyond that, remember, the Saints are going into 26 expected to be somewhere around $24 million over the cap, which is a dramatically different reality from where they've been, 9 figures over the cap trying to figure all this out. So anyway, the point being, the Saints will be in a much healthier cap position for 2026 than they were in 25, certainly 24, and prior. So they'll be able to afford to re-sign Rasheed Shaheed. But you have to balance, what does Shaheed want? What do you feel he's worth? If these numbers are far apart and you feel you're not going to be able to make a deal, then you trade him. You trade him and you get an asset or multiple assets for him. But if at 26 years old, and you think this could be a cornerstone offensive player for you, and what his representation are asking for is in line with what you believe he is worth, and you're going to be able to re-sign him after this season, then you keep him. The other part of this that maybe should be discussed a bit is the component with your young quarterbacks. You have Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck. You have two young quarterbacks, and you're trying to determine this year what you have in these two players. Like, are these two quarterbacks capable of being guys you build around for the future? Well, if you trade off every asset you have and you just revert to what you were a year ago, which was basically a young quarterback playing with a preseason practice squad offense against NFL teams, it's going to go very badly. Like, Spencer Rattler didn't start his career 0-10 because he stinks. He started his career 0-10 because the 6 games he started a year ago, he had a mash unit around it. It was basically a practice squad team playing in NFL games on Sunday. It would have been like a team of scabs playing against the real team. Like Shane Falco winning a game against the Dallas Cowboys. Like, that just doesn't happen in real life. So to that end, trying to figure out what you have with these guys, these quarterbacks, yes, I want good offensive weapons around them. I want a healthy Taysom Hill and a healthy Foster Moreau and a healthy Chris Olave and a healthy Rashid Shaheed and a healthy Alvin Kamara and a motivated, healthy Kendre Miller, like, and a starting offensive line. Let's see what that looks like. So it's very easy. Like, I'm not opposed. Everything has a price, right? I'm not opposed to trading Rasheed Shaheed. I'm not saying you definitively do it, however. What I think the point is that you have to consider is what do you think Shaheed is worth in a free agent contract after this year? What do you believe his market value is? What does he believe his market value is? If they're close, then you keep him, you do a deal, and you keep him in New Orleans. If they are not close, then you see what you can get for him. You trade him to a contender, and then he becomes a mercenary for the second half of the season to try to help somebody go win a championship, and then you re-sign him after the season. That's something that does happen in all sports. Heck, I remember the year the Cubs won the World Series. Aroldis Chapman was the Yankees closer. They traded him to the Cubs. He was on the Cubs for their postseason run, won a World Series. He went into free agency, re-signed with the Yankees. Okay. Like, that's one example that just comes to mind, but there's plenty of those. So, I'm not surprised someone asked about Shaheed, and I'm not opposed to trading Shaheed. But keeping him may also be the right decision if it makes sense financially. That's one report that the Steelers were interested. We're not up yet upon the trade deadline, but that's going to be one to watch. Because a lot of the veteran players you may be thinking about, their contracts just don't make sense. DeMario Davis, Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara. Like, it doesn't make a lick of sense to trade these guys. No one's going to give you an asset for aging players on expensive deals. Like, you're not going to be able to trade those guys. You'll be able to trade valuable young players that still have an NFL future. And you have to decide, are those people that you'd rather an asset to get younger and build your roster more, or are those players you want to build around? And Shaheed's one of those, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's after further review. Our show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. Of course, you're going to be watching the Saints and Patriots this weekend. Grab plenty of ice-cold Bud Light. That's that black Bud Light can with the gold fleur-de-lis on it. They got the officially licensed LSU 12-ounce cans and 16-ounce aluminum bottles. Shout out to Courtney over at Mockler who designed this LSU can. This design didn't come from Anheuser-Busch. This design came from Mockler Beverage on Riga Road. Courtney designed this can, which is awesome. So hat tip to her for the great job. It's a hat tip to LSU's tradition of wearing white jerseys at home, which I'm sure they'll be doing Saturday night in Tiger Stadium against with South Carolina coming in. I hope anyway. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers and the New Orleans Saints. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Darren Teakin with our Fantasy Blitz in 30 minutes from right now. We will knock out our first break of the show. And when we come back, there was a report today that LSU has pre-sold uniform jersey patches. Not included in that report is the company that bought the jersey patches. I'm going to tell you who that is next.
After further review.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. Check out Glow Resources and glowresources.com if you are hiring, if you're in need of hiring and help hiring and finding the right people, you're in need of Glow Resources. Now, I want to be clear, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter. They specialize in skilled blue-collar labor, so if you need carpenters or welders or pipe fitters or crane operators or heavy equipment machinery, they do all that. They'll find those right people for you. You're having trouble finding reliable people. Glow Resources knows throughout the interview process the right questions to ask, to vet candidates, to find the right people for your job that will stay. This is not temp staffing. Glow Resources is finding permanent employee solutions for your business to make you more effective. So check them out online. Have that conversation about how they can help find you the right people to make you more efficient. GLO, glowresources.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Duplessis Pool Builders are giving away a dream pool. Every $25 donation supports dreams come true, granting wishes for Louisiana kids with life-threatening illnesses, and gets you entered to win. Donate $100 and you get 5 entries. Where do you donate? That's easy. You donate today at 1045ESPN.com.
Big shout out to Duplessis Builders, helping out Miss Becky and the great people over at Dreams Come True of Louisiana. Great local business. Not business, a nonprofit where 100% of the funds all stay in Louisiana. Granting dreams for children with life-threatening or terminal illnesses. They're an awesome organization. We're thrilled to be partnered with them for so many years, and also for Duplessis Builders to be partnered as well. All right, it's After Further Review, and we're really glad to have you hanging out with us here. So a bit ago, there was a report, and Front Office Sports was the first to report it. It has been in the works for some time that LSU, and this should come as no surprise to anybody, that LSU was seeking a jersey patch sponsor. We know this year already that Venture Global and LSU have entered into a partnership to have the Venture Global logo on the field at Tiger Stadium, which, by the way, they're still playing games in Tiger Stadium. That hasn't stopped. They still got the numbers every 5 yards.
Eye of the Tigers out there. Yep.
They play the four-corner salute.
They do.
The 4 notes and everything like that.
Still happens.
Got it. Great. Louisiana Saturday night. They still do that before the game?
Call in Baton Rouge. I haven't heard Louisiana Saturday night.
Well, let's hope they've just ditched Louisiana Saturday night.
You love that song.
Oh, God, brutal. Anyway. So Venture Global, the logo's on the field, and the next most valuable real estate was going to be a jersey patch. And we've talked about it plenty. And candidly, did get word that this was happening, and was kind of waiting for the green light to be able to report it. But Front Office Sports reported it today that LSU's agreed to a jersey patch deal. And so I'm going to tell you the company they agreed to a deal with. The company is called Woodside Energy. And we reported this up at LouisianaSports.net. If you'd like to go read about it, you can. And I actually have photos because what has been right in front of all of our faces that you may not know is that while the NCAA Division I Administrative Committee has just introduced the legislation to allow jersey patches, and that for games and competition, that's expected to be approved in January, and then it would go into effect probably for fall of 26, so next football season. I guess there's the potential it could be for the spring of 26, so baseball, softball, et cetera. But probably fall of 26. There is no rule prohibiting the sale of a jersey patch on a mascot or on practice uniforms. And LSU currently has the Woodside Energy jersey patch on both its practice uniforms for football and on the costumed Mike the Tiger. So, for example, we have photos of this at LouisianaSports.net if you'd like to see it, on our social media, if you'd like to see it. You go to Tiger Stadium this weekend. If you go to Tiger Stadium and you see the costumed Mike the Tiger, pull it up, please. You can see the costumed Mike the Tiger. Well, he's got a Woodside Energy patch on the right chest of the jersey that the costumed Mike the Tiger is wearing. We also have photos, or a photo. It's a single photo of it's attached to the story. As a matter of fact, at LouisianaSports.net, it's Xavier Thomas in his practice uniform, wearing the. I'm sorry, that's not Xavier Thomas. Forgive me. That's Tamarcus. The zero, of course. It's Tamarcus Cooley. Forgive me. 2 zeros. But anyway, it's Tamarcus Cooley in his practice uniform with the Woodside Energy patch. The thing that I like a lot about this is that the patch is purple and white, or white and purple, depending on if it's a purple jersey or a white jersey. So Woodside Energy, their company's logos are red and white, but that would clash horribly. So they made a purple and white patch design for the LSU uniforms. So a couple of things. If you're wondering who Woodside Energy is, Woodside Energy is, well, they're an energy company, obviously. They're Australian-based. And recently, Woodside Energy and Louisiana Economic Development announced a joint venture where Woodside Energy made a $17.5 billion investment for an LNG facility in southwest Louisiana. This becomes the largest foreign direct investment in Louisiana state history. So this company, Woodside Energy, is investing $17.5 billion with a B, $17.5 billion in an LNG facility in southwest Louisiana. God bless you, Woodside Energy. That's amazing. I mean, they are bringing $17 billion of investment dollars into our state. Yes. Can we clap it up for Woodside Energy, please? Thank you, Woodside Energy. You're the real MVP. Not only that, but they've obviously now collaborated with LSU for this jersey patch deal, which is awesome because I know the traditionalists like vomit in their mouth a little bit when they see these types of things. And I'm going to tell you today what I told you when we first learned about this possibility, what I'll say every time something like this comes up. If you want to win, you have to be financially competitive. You have to be able, in the past, it was build the best facilities and pay the best coaches and all that stuff. Now, those things are involved still. However, now athletic departments have to allocate up to $20.5 million in their budget to pay the players, to share that revenue with the players. So every athletic department, every single one, is looking for new revenue streams and way to cut expenses. Where can you trim the fat? Where can you increase revenue? Well, some very obvious ways to increase revenue are partnerships like this. Put Venture Global's name on the field. Put a Woodside Energy patch on your jersey. And the thing that I've repeated a bajillion times already, LSU won the national championship on January 4th, 2004 in the Superdome against Oklahoma. 21-14, one of the greatest days of my life. I was a senior at LSU. Never thought in my life I'd ever see LSU win a national championship. Got to be there to watch it that day. It was incredible. Do you think the fact that there was a Nokia logo on the patch dampens that in any way, that I've given a single thought to that at all over the last 20-plus years? No. Because you don't care and I don't care. None of us actually care. We're programmed to believe, oh, the horror, the tradition, the pageantry, they're ruining it. Like, the Chicago Cubs have a giant Motorola logo on their sleeve. Like, what are we actually talking about? The Yankees have a logo on the side of their friggin' batting. It's the New York Yankees. Like, let's be honest. Marketing's everywhere. You find valuable real estate. People will pay money for it. It's fine. It's not going to take away a lick from your enjoyment of the game or the team. If anything, you should be grateful for those businesses who are willing to engage in these types of deals, because these are the types of deals that are going to drive revenue that allow you to be competitive in the revenue share space. And when you're helping build roster in all sports, by the way, and pay coaches and build facilities and all the things that you have to do. So, yes, salute, big time salute to Woodside Energy. Not only for the jersey patches, but for the what was that number again? $17.5 billion investment for an LNG facility in southwest Louisiana. Thank you, Woodside Energy, for your commitment to Louisiana, our state, and our economy. That's awesome. So, if you're wondering, you'll fully expect, and by the way, this deal is for patches on uniforms in every sport. It's not just football. It is football and basketball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, softball, track and field, golf, gymnastics, everything. Like every sport. That's this deal. So, terms of the deal not disclosed. I'm certain it is lucrative. But we have the full report if you want it. They're at LouisianaSports.net and linked on all our socials if you want to find out more. If you want to see the photos that I'm discussing, the photos are there at LouisianaSports.net. It's there on the top of the homepage if you want to check it out. Again, LouisianaSports.net. While you're there, man, like subscribe to our newsletter and link it on and send it to people and let people know it's there. It's free. No paywalls, No freemium, no article limits, no subscriptions, none of that stuff ever. Just free. Just go enjoy it. LouisianaSports.net. All right. It's after further review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Love telling you about Rouse's because Rouse's is helping you cover the spread this football season. All right, it's Thursday, y'all. We're headed towards Saturday. Saturday's a big tailgate day. If you're there watching the Tigers or the Saints, Rouse's can help you with everything you need. If you need your beer, your bourbon, your Evermore water, or whatever product you may drink for the non-alcoholic drinks, for the family, for the kids, for whoever, and for you, make sure you stay hydrated. Drink Evermore. But they've also got everything you could need. Your game day trays, if it's your cheese trays, your fruit trays, your party platters, your drumettes, your finger sandwiches, your mini muffalettas, your rib platters. They got everything you could imagine. Grab and go to be the hit of your tailgate. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all, it is after further review, and we are glad to have you hanging aboard with us. I mean, we got a lot to do. Okay, Darren Teakin's here in 15 minutes for our Fantasy Blitz. Answer your fantasy football questions. Bill Bender in 45 minutes. Giant weekend in the Big Ten. We'll talk about that in the landscape of college football with Bill Bender of the Sporting News in 45 minutes. Lee Sterling's best bets. Jay Phillips, who does radio in Columbia, South Carolina. He'll be here in hour 3 to talk about the Gamecocks. Mike Triplett in hour 3. My goodness, we got a ton to do. We are locked, loaded, jam-packed, and glad you're hanging out here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing.
AFR.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Need security services you can count on? With Veteran Security Services, you're always protected. Locally owned and proudly serving the Gulf Coast, they're not some big national firm chasing profits. They're neighbors protecting neighbors. From petrochemical plants and healthcare facilities to port and maritime operations, Veteran Security delivers reliable protection you can trust. Choose community. Choose confidence. Choose Veteran Security Services. Visit veteransecurityfirm.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders Pool.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
I felt those statements were completely and totally bogus. If you're going to make a declarative statement, make it. Don't just issue a meaningless piece of paper, which is what Belichick did. It feels to me like it is over, and I think his behavior is indicative of that. Not to make too much out of it, but he basically took a week off during the bye week, and he's entitled to have his own private life. We've said that repeatedly here, but I've never heard of a coach in big-time college football to do something like that. Maybe take an afternoon off to play golf during the bye week, but not go on vacation. So to me, he has checked out. The play on the field has checked out. His coaching has been abysmal. And I think Bill Belichick would be wise to walk out now before the humiliation gets any worse.
That, of course, is Paul Feinbaum talking about Bill Belichick. For the record, I haven't covered college football as long as Paul Feinbaum has. And I like Paul a lot. He's always been very nice to me. But I have heard of coaches taking weeks off during the bye week to go on vacation. I've absolutely heard of that. I think it's just how different staffs approach the bye week. But whatever. So there's odds that have been updated. We have this over at louisianasports.net. The updated odds about Bill Belichick finishing the season or being back in 2026 at North Carolina. The talk has been that they're looking for an escape hatch here, right? An exit strategy for Belichick and North Carolina. Will Belichick coach the full season for North Carolina? Yes is minus 300. No is plus 200. So that's basically a 75% likelihood that he will finish the season. Now, the question, will he coach at North Carolina in 2026? Yes is plus $1.40. No is minus 180. So it's about a 64% likelihood he will not be back after this season. I think the only way Bill Belichick is not back at North Carolina after this season is if he gets an NFL job, which I don't think is going to happen, which means I think he'll be back at North Carolina. I don't know what people really expected. That was a terrible situation he walked into. They paid him a lot of money, and they're going to invest in their roster. Their roster just isn't very good. And you can be off-put by his girlfriend being down on the field or him going on vacation or whatever, and people are going to throw their darts and have their conversations or whatever. That's fine. But you look at the remainder of the schedule, and they've got Cal, Virginia, Syracuse, Stanford, Wake Forest, Duke, and NC State. Virginia is the only remaining ranked opponent they face. Now, I know they got waxed by Clemson, but I think Clemson is a much better team than their record indicates. We've talked plenty about that, but I think Clemson is still a very deep and talented team. North Carolina getting run by Central Florida was concerning and head-scratching, and I understand that. They also made the switch to Max Johnson at quarterback last game, and maybe a veteran like that might steady them a little bit. We'll see. But they were outclassed talent-wise by TCU, and they were outclassed talent-wise by Clemson. That's just not a surprise. And they beat Charlotte and Richmond. So when they're punching at their own weight, I think they're going to be fine. I think they finished somewhere around 500 this year. I think of the 7 remaining games, I think there's 4 wins out there that'll get them to bowl eligibility. And that's not a terrible year one. And then you see if you can build upon that. But the noise gets loud when things don't go well, and that's what's happening right now. But it's loud around them right now in Chapel Hill. Brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, parishrestoration.com. As a matter of fact, you go to the website, parishrestoration.com. You'll see a testimonial on the homepage of LSU starting quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, who did an NIL deal with Parish Restoration because when Garrett and his fiance went to buy their home had mold, and so they hired Jim Woodworth and the folks over at Parish Restoration. So you can go read Garrett's testimonial right there at the homepage at parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. And if you're interested in learning more, getting that estimate of what it would cost to dry fog your home, easy. Just fill out the form on the homepage right there at parishrestoration.com. It's a free estimate, and they service the entire state. They do a ton of work in New Orleans. I mean, Louisiana is the mold capital of the world, y'all. It is hot. It is wet. It is humid. That's a breeding ground for mold. And Parish can help knock out any mold problems you have. Parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Oklahoma Sooners.
Quarterback John Mateer officially listed as questionable for Saturday's game in the Red River rivalry against Texas. Mateer had surgery on September the 24th on his throwing hand. He's pushing for an earlier than expected return, trying to play Saturday. Brent Venables said, not sure what's going to happen with Mateer. Really, the question is, can he grip a football? We'll find out, I'm sure, on Saturday.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Running back Fluff Bothwell was carted off the field during the fourth quarter Saturday against Texas A&M. But Jeff Lebby said they got good news on the running back. No timeline right now, but all the pictures and the images that they took apparently came back positive in Bothwell's day-to-day. He was injured while being tackled after catching a third down pass. Mississippi State's on its bye this week.
Texas A&M!
Linebacker Scooby Williams missed last week's game against Mississippi State, and he's questionable on the first availability report for this week against Florida. Lower body injury against Notre Dame, and he's missed, had the open date, then missed last week's game. But Mike Elko on his radio show said we should have Scooby this week, so we'll see if Scooby Williams returns for the game against Florida.
The Auburn Tigers.
Redshirt junior Alex McPherson getting stronger, dealing with ulcerative colitis. Tigers are coming off a bye week preparation for Saturday's game against Georgia there at Jordan-Hare Stadium. McPherson's perfect 4 for 4 on field goals this season, but the illness has really limited his range so far. His weight's around 150 pounds after he'd really struggled to get past 135 pounds for much of the year. But maybe getting stronger. We hope the best there for McPherson as he gets healthier.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And Tyreek Jemison, offensive lineman out of Georgia for the class of 2026. He's decommitted from the Wildcats. He's a 3-star. He had picked Kentucky back in June over Ole Miss, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, NC State. So Kentucky now down to 14 commits for its current class. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Yes, they're based out of Baton Rouge, but Blasia's now built a team of more than 50 nurses all over the state of Louisiana. So it literally does not matter where you are in the state of Louisiana. Decision Critical has nurses near you for whatever concierge nursing services that you may need. And by the way, if you're a physician, like this is an appeal to the doctors. If you're a physician, refer Decision Critical to your patients. They can carry out your orders in-home after surgery, after a difficult diagnosis, illness, injuries, and most importantly, the nurses from Decision Critical can help keep your patient out of the hospital, and they will report to you. So if you would like to have a discovery meeting with Blasia about her team, look them up there at decisioncriticalbr.com. There's so many physicians that already refer their patients to Decision Critical. Decisioncriticalbr.com is the website, decisioncriticalbr.com. It's Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Darren Teakin is here next for our Fantasy Blitz. Get your fantasy football questions in on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Hormone replacement therapy, ED treatments, and so much more. I can't begin to tell you how transformative some of the therapies at Goodwood have been. Like, I've told you for years about my chronic back pain. I started on a non-pharmaceutical treatment. This is not pharmaceutical drugs. I started on a non-pharmaceutical treatment from Goodwood. And in a matter of a few weeks, it's incredible. I hesitate to say my pain is gone, but I went from struggling to get out of bed, taking Advil every day of my life, to I haven't taken Advil in 2 months. Look, the bottom line is, if you want to feel your best, no matter what's going on, anxiety, body aches, pains, lethargy, they can help. YourGoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. After Further Review, this is the Fantasy Football Blitz.
Do you know who I am?
Powered by whotostart.net.
Who the hell are you?
Whotostart.net. The Fantasy Football Blitz.
Who the bitten?
This is the Fantasy Football Blitz, powered by whotostart.net.
All right, let's get it. Before you set your fantasy football roster, check with our guys at whotostart.net. Darren Teakin's with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Ready for some football.
Yeah, man, we got a good one tonight in the East with the Giants and the defending champs, the Eagles. Who are we keeping an eye on tonight?
Well, I think this is a game that I don't want to say call it a get-right game. That's kind of cliche, but this is a game where Saquon
Wait, Darren, I'm sorry. Real quick. If you have us on speaker, can you pick up the handset for us real quick, please? I can barely. It's just really hollow.
You got it.
There,
How about
perfect.
now?
Yep, perfect. Thanks. All right, Thursday Night Football. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't want to call it a get-right game, but that's a little cliche. But this is the kind of game where I see Saquon Barkley definitely finding some holes to run through. So look for Barkley to bounce back. Maybe some A.J. Brown, maybe some Devontae Smith mixed in, and then, of course, just a good game from Jalen Hurts in terms of a fantasy quarterback. On the other side of the ball, looks like Darius Slayton is out, so Wan'Dale Robinson and Theo Johnson should be the two main beneficiaries from Jackson Dart passing tonight.
Minnesota and Houston on the bye. If there's teams that maybe have Justin Jefferson or C.J. Stroud, some along the lines, who are we keeping an eye on? Maybe sleepers, guys that could be available to fill the void?
Yeah, I got a running back and a wide receiver for you. This is going to be near and dear to your guys' hearts, but I think it's going to be Kendre Miller time down there in the Bayou, just because Kamara, obviously getting up there in age. I could see him going to a team like the Chargers or possibly even the Cardinals that are in need of running back right now that are, a little bit more in terms of in playoff contention. So maybe you might see AK-41 moving to a different team, which would open things up for Kendre Miller. Wide receiver-wise, I like Troy Franklin from the Broncos. Sauce Gardner is going to be all over Cortland Sutton for the Broncos, so look for Troy Franklin to see some more targets this week for the Broncos.
All right, let's get to questions. You know the drill. You want to ask Darren a question about your fantasy football roster, email us, tweet us at Matt Moscona, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Trey said who to start, actually who to trade. Says he's giving Quinshon Judkins and Rashee Rice, getting Zay Flowers, Romeo Doubs, Tony Pollard. It was offered the trade. Should he accept it?
Not a chance. No, Rashee Rice, you've held on to him this long. He's going to be obviously the number one for that Chiefs team moving forward after next week. So I'm going to hold Rashee Rice for now, for sure.
Lance said Scadaboo or Pollard, who to start?
I think I'm going to Scadaboo tonight. He should find the end zone.
Scott Shirley, who to start? He's got Dowdle or Gainwell at running back, who to start?
Sorry, who was the first one?
Rico Dowdle.
Oh, Dowdle. If Dowdle's, I think that Chuba Hubbard's out again, so Dowdle has another pretty good matchup, I believe, against Dallas. So I think that's probably your play.
Matthew needs two, PPR league. He's got Cooper Kupp, Mason Taylor, and Chris Godwin. Cooper Kupp, Mason Taylor, Chris Godwin needs two. Who to start?
I would look at the injury report for Godwin. I think that he popped up on the injury report this morning. If he's good to go, if his prognosis improves over the next 48 hours, I would play Godwin. And then, between Cooper Kupp and Mason Taylor, I like Mason Taylor's matchup this week quite a bit in terms of a tight end. I usually don't go with tight end at flex, but he might be a little bit safer than Cooper Kupp, who's just not himself.
Muse, you missed two of them. Come on.
Mason Taylor!
Give me another one.
Mason Taylor!
Sorry, Darren. That's a bit we've had for 3 years here on the show.
No problem.
Jeff said needs help at flex. Devontae Smith and Travion Henderson. Who to start?
Oh, I'm going to play Smith tonight. Just that the matchup against the Giants is probably too good. Expecting probably 4 or 5, maybe even 6 catches out of Smith tonight.
Ray's got a question for receiver. Who to start? He's got Worthy or Dobbs. Who to start?
I'm starting Worthy there until Rice gets back. Worthy's kind of de facto number one for that Chiefs offense. Looks like that shoulder is probably okay. I mean, I'm not sure, one big hit, he might be out again, but at least in the interim, Worthy's the interim number one for that Chiefs offense. So I'm playing Worthy.
Mitch said who to start, Jaden Daniels or Matthew Stafford?
Oh, I can't sit Jaden Daniels. Decent matchup against the Bears on Monday Night Football, so playing Daniels there.
Ryan said he's got a couple. He said this is a who to sit, PPR. He's got Chris Olave, Quinshon Judkins, or Devontae Smith, PPR league. So I guess he needs 2 of those 3.
Yeah, I'm probably sitting Olave, just the up and down nature of that Saints offense. I mean, he could go for 100 yards and a touchdown, or he could go for 30 yards. I think I'm just going to roll the dice with the other 2 guys.
One more from Ryan. Jordan Love or Matthew Stafford, who to start?
Well, Love's matchup is a little intriguing. He's playing the Bengals. Bengals are absolutely terrible. So I don't see him throwing a ton in the second half, but by the end of the first half, he might have 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I think I'm going with Love there.
Couple more here. Ben said Chase Brown, Michael Carter, or Travion Henderson. Who to start?
As bad as Brown has been, I think he's getting the ball the most out of those three. So just by sake of volume alone, I think I'm going Brown there, but I don't like it a whole lot.
A couple more. Tim says Bowers or Kincaid at tight end. Who to start?
Yeah, this is another one that's injury dependent. Bowers just hasn't been himself. That knee just isn't 100%. If he comes off the injury report, I would definitely play him. But if he's just questionable, I think Kincaid might be just your safer play.
Calvin Ridley or Keon Coleman, PPR. Who to start?
Ridley kind of stepped up his game a little bit last week. I don't know if it's a sign of things to come, but I think I'm playing Ridley there just by a hair.
And one more from Matt, who said who to start. Is Shaheed worth an everyday flex start PPR league, even though his quantity of touches is low? He currently has Waddle in that spot.
No, I'd keep Waddle in there just as the number one for that Miami offense. He's going to be seeing a ton of targets. Shaheed is, I wouldn't call him an every week flex starter, but he's someone you could plug in during bye weeks and such. But right now, I think Waddle's a better play.
He is Darren Tietkin, who2start.net. It's the numeral 2, who2start.net for our Fantasy Blitz here every Thursday. We appreciate it, man. Enjoy the football this weekend.
Thanks, you too.
All right, man. That is Darren Tietkin. It's After Further Review. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing all over the state of Louisiana. You can find them on the web, though, at decisioncriticalbr.com. Schedule that discovery call with our friends over at decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, y'all. Quick break. Come back. The New Orleans Saints, interesting injury report. Same with the LSU Tigers, as the participation report has one very interesting name on it that we'll dive into. Bill Bender in about 20 minutes here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 at the Williamson Eye Center, williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Remember, no matter your age or your refractive issue, they have a solution for you. So if you want to get rid of the contacts and glasses forever, the Williamson Eye Center can help. So go see Dr. Blake Williamson. Just go for that consultation. Take that leap. Whatever your hang-up may be, if it's you're worried about cost, well, they have financing options. So they've got an option for any budget. It's more affordable than you think to begin with. If you're worried about the laser, I was too. I've learned that LASIK is actually the safest elective procedure in the history of mankind. No matter what might be that hesitation, put it aside and just go. 924-2020.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Week 6 of the NFL season kicks off tonight with the Eagles and Giants. Philadelphia, coming off its first loss of the season, is 4-1 despite an offense that has looked out of sync. 30th ranked offense, ranked 31st in passing. Quarterback Jalen Hurts needs to put the ball into the hands of Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown to fix it, suggests ESPN NFL analyst Jason McCourty.
Starting with Saquon Barkley, allow him to run the ball. Last year against this Giants offense, 17 carries, 176 yards. This is a Giants defense that is still struggling against the run. When you do that, now you unlock A.J. Brown to be able to get loose. A.J. Brown, go out there and win your one-on-ones tonight and make plays.
A National League Division Series doubleheader of Game 4 is on the way, leading off with the Phillies at the Dodgers. ESPN radio coverage bottom of the hour. Christopher Sanchez starts in the must-win for Philadelphia. For L.A., it's Tyler Glasnow in his first postseason start since 2023 when he was with Tampa Bay. Cubs down 2-1, host the Brewers 8:30 Eastern ESPN radio. It's Matthew Boyd and Freddie Peralta.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Friday as the Jags and Seahawks get set to face off. I'll tell you if Trevor Lawrence and Sam Darnold have done enough to be in my quarterback trust tree. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Bill Bender of the Sporting News will be here in 15 minutes. We'll have Lee Sterling later this hour. Looking forward to that conversation as, of course, Lee was 4-1 again last week on his picks, his best bets. So we'll see what Lee has lined up for this week. We'll get to Jay Phillips, does radio in Columbia, South Carolina. He'll be with us in hour number 3, talk a little bit about the Gamecocks. And we will also have Mike Triplett in hour 3 as well. So excited about that as we move forward. Okay. It's after further review, and we're glad you're hanging out with us here. The LSU South Carolina participation report, the initial participation report, was released on Wednesday night, and it was a lot of really what we expected that it was going to be. I guess the notables would be for LSU that Aaron Anderson is questionable. Ahmad Bro is a new name on there. It doesn't list his injury designation, like what the injury is, only that he's probable, along with Caden Durham. We do not see Garrett Nussmeier. We do not see Weston Davis. I mean, they're good to go. The Aaron Anderson questionable is one obviously worth watching. And then Paul Mabenga is doubtful. And I think that continues to maybe be, that continues to be the most significant name here because you're talking about your starting left guard going into this game against a South Carolina defensive front that, quite honestly, has been pretty good. I mean, that's the one area on South Carolina where in a season where they've struggled out the gate, they've not been very good. They are good on their defensive front. And LSU's weakness has been its offensive line. So what does LSU do in potentially replacing Paul Mabenga if he can't go? I think is going to be a pretty fascinating story here. And you got three options, and you know what they are. We've run through them a bunch. But your three options, number one would be obviously Cohen Eccles. And while Paul Mabenga has been your starter at left guard, he's played 220 snaps, all 220 at left guard. Cohen Eccles has played 149 snaps, all of them at left guard. So you're talking about two guys that have rotated pretty interchangeably here at the left guard spot. Like if you look at Eccles' game-by-game snap counts, against Clemson he played 12 snaps, against Tech 26, against Florida 16, Southeastern he played 61. Of course, LSU blew him out. He played the whole second half. And then against Ole Miss, when Mabenga went down, he ended up playing the rest of the game, played 34 snaps against Ole Miss. So you're talking about a guy in Eccles that's played a good bit at left guard. So that's one option. The other would be DJ Chester. And Chester, as Brian Kelly has said repeatedly, is kind of your sixth man, right? The opening game against Clemson when Tyree Adams went down at left tackle, Chester went in and played left tackle. When Braylon Moore went down after the first snap against Louisiana Tech, Chester went in and played center the rest of the game. No matter what spot it is on the line, we've seen him rotate at that left guard spot. We've seen him take reps at right tackle. So Chester has been a really versatile guy that's played a lot of football, and he could very well be maybe that guy that rotates in. But I think that the most intriguing prospect potentially there on the offensive line at left guard, an option, is Karius Kern. And he's a guy we've talked a bunch about. You know we've talked about him a bunch because he's a five-star. He comes in as an early enrollee. He's here for spring. He's worked almost exclusively at left tackle. Late in fall camp, he starts taking reps with the ones at right tackle. And then for me, I always say actions speak louder than words. What happened against Ole Miss, I think, was kind of the telltale, where you didn't have Chester available in the first half because of the targeting penalty. And then the second half begins, and Chester's available, and you stick with Kern. On Monday at his press conference, I asked Brian Kelly why, at the start of the second half, didn't they go with Chester, and why did they stick with Kern at right tackle?
Because what we saw in the first half, essentially, I think if there were major issues, Matt, Brad and I would have probably made a decision there to make the change. But we felt like Karius was giving us good energy. He was protecting our edge really well in the passing game. There were a couple of mistakes inside out, which we expected that was going to happen. But by and large, we felt like let's let the young guy play. And that was kind of our sense.
I'm getting a lot. And by the way, I may be dead wrong. Just very clearly, I may be dead wrong. My intuition is I'm getting a lot of 2022 vibes. And Brian Kelly, his entire career, I'm not just talking about LSU, I'm talking his entire career, has pumped offensive linemen and tight ends into the NFL at a better clip than any other position. He had more tight ends drafted during his decade at Notre Dame than LSU had from 1980 to the day he showed up in Baton Rouge. Like, the guy knows and values that position, how to recruit, develop those positions. And that opening game of the Brian Kelly era against Florida State was such a disaster. Remember, you had Dellinger at center. You had Frazier at right tackle. You had freshman Will Campbell at left tackle. Well, ultimately, he ends up shuffling the deck. Frazier moves to guard. They insert Emory Jones at right tackle week 3. They move Dellinger to guard. They move Charles Turner in at center. He didn't stand pat. And I kind of get the sense that he's looking at this unit going, all right, these were the 5 coming out of camp we went with, thinking these were our best 5, and these may not be the best 5. That's why you've seen the rotation at left guard with Eccles getting in there. That's why you saw Kern take reps at right tackle. And they may be looking at a spot for Karius Kern to get him, thinking he's one of their best 5. As a matter of fact, on the SEC coaches teleconference on Wednesday, Brian Kelly on that teleconference was asked about, how he decides to shuffle an offensive line midseason.
We've got a couple of young players. When is the right time to insert them? And I think for us, and for me in particular, inserting a young player into the lineup is when you know that one play is not going to affect his second or third or fourth or fifth play. And so emotional maturity is really, really important. We were able to play 2 freshmen here early in my career because they had emotional stability. And so gauging that with consistency in making sure that they know what they're doing every snap. I'm okay with a mistake or 2 from some young players. What I can't have is catastrophic mistakes. So that's the evaluation process, really, in terms of when we may insert somebody into the lineup midseason.
By the way, in 3 games played for Karius Kern, he has not committed a penalty. And his best pass blocking grade was against Ole Miss with an 80.3. I think you're seeing a young guy who's physically better than probably everybody else that you have at that position, growing up exponentially and rapidly. And it may come to pass. It may not be this week, but he's 6'5", 320. He's super athletic, and he plays with a mean streak. It may come to pass that you just realize, look, he's one of our best 5. You got to find a place to put him out there. That may start this weekend against South Carolina. It may not. Like, they may roll with Eccles because Eccles has primarily been your left guard rotating there with Mabenga. That may make the most sense. But the more the season goes along, it sure feels like they're going to find a way to get Kern in there in a more regular clip. Maybe it's this weekend. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. Thursday. What a way to start the weekend. What a way to start the weekend by getting by Supper Club. Don't have a reservation? Don't worry. Open seating at the bar, the 14 bar stools, the 7 bar tables. You can always just first come, first served in the bar area. Certainly you could always call over or go on the website, SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. See if you get a reservation. Maybe get lucky. Great spot Saturday as well. You want to go during the game. Look, it's in a sports bar. They don't have TVs everywhere, but they do have a 100-inch projector in the lounge next to the bar, where if you're in that bar area, you can see the game. So instead of eating greasy bar food, why don't you go eat a delicious steak from Supper Club? Huh, let's go. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. They got what a time, too, because Chef Layton texted me yesterday. They got a Sagrera cow in yesterday. So you want the cream of the crop, the best cuts. Now's the time. SupperClubBTR.com. Go tonight. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, it's After Further Review. We are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing here in Baton Rouge and all over the state of Louisiana, and soon coming to Texas. They're about to open up their office in Dallas-Fort Worth. Excited to tell you more about that. The expansion Blasian, our team, has been nothing short of incredible, and it's so worth it. The amazing service they provide, no matter if it's from birth to end-of-life care and everything in between. It's not just health care, it's health care for your lifestyle at Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. All right, let's not get a quick break, y'all. Bill Bender of the Sporting News will be here next. Big weekend in college football. Bill, based out of Columbus, covers the Big Ten, certainly centralized there in the Big Ten's big weekend for that league. We'll get into all of that with Bill Bender as we continue on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Builders, DuplessisBuilders.net. Hey, get to the website. I really want you to check this out. If you've ever thought of building a pool, Duplessis Builders certainly can build your custom dream pool. DuplessisBuilders.net. They do that. They do better than anyone. But Duplessis Builders also has a tab on the homepage where right when you go to the homepage, it says Build Your Dream Pool. You hit that tab, and there are so many different models that you can choose from. I mean, 4, 8, they have great. 10 different models that you can choose from where you can build your pool and design it right there on the website. And there's a price point for every budget. Oh, you want to build the resort-style pool at your home and go all out? You can do that. Duplessis will build you a beautiful pool that'll last. But maybe you want something a little smaller, a little more boutique. They got it for you as well, for any budget. DuplessisBuilders.net. Check them out online, DuplessisBuilders.net.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Need security services you can count on? With Veteran Security Services, you're always protected. Locally owned and proudly serving the Gulf Coast, they're not some big national firm chasing profits. They're neighbors protecting neighbors. From petrochemical plants and healthcare facilities to port and maritime operations, Veteran Security delivers reliable protection you can trust. Choose community. Choose confidence. Choose Veteran Security Services. Visit veteransecurityfirm.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalVR.com.
Been already into week 7 of the college football season. Bill Bender, Sporting News, good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Bill, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, yeah. Week 7, I can't believe it.
Is there a team through 7 weeks that you can definitively say you think is the best in college football? Not that they're going to win a championship, but through 7 weeks that's maybe been the most impressive for you?
Well, the answer is either Ohio State or Miami. Miami probably has a better collection of wins. You know, going through South Florida, winning the state championship and having Mario say state champs after that. They're good on both sides of the ball in the trenches. And, I mean, if they I'd pick Ohio State to win, though. That defense is – we're getting on the border of calling it historically good.
That's going to be an interesting one this weekend there in Seba. So I guess it'll actually be in Champaign. But Ohio State against Illinois – that's a big number there, and I know we watched Illinois get absolutely waxed by Indiana. Do you think that was a weird one-off, Bill, or has Illinois really got some issues that are being exposed?
I think they'll show up for this game, and it won't be as bad as the Indiana game. It's at home. Your back's against the wall. They have a history of weird games against Ohio State. The Buckeyes will be tested here, probably even more so than the Washington game, I think, in some ways. Do you know what the Illabuck is? That's what they play for. I've been educating people all week.
No, I would love to know.
They play for that looks like a turtle. Big Ten country. We play for some weird trophies.
Yeah.
They put the score on it. Go ahead and Google it on your own time, but
I'm looking
it's a
at
weird one.
Illabuck, Illabuck, huh?
Libuck.
All right, Illabuck. Oh, there he is. Look at that guy. All right. Yeah, look, I mean, this is what we do here. We bring new information to light, and we educate our audience. It's why we had to have Bill here. The Illabuck. Like, do they have is that the, oh my God, are those like the results on the back of the trophy?
There are multiple Illabucks.
I was going to say, how would they fit? How would they fit?
There's a lot of them, and so there are some strange and unusual trophies in the Big Ten. There are some very cool ones, like the Floyd, the Pig, and the Paul Bunyan Trophy. But that one gets underrated because Illinois and Ohio State, honestly, they don't play every year anymore.
Well, teams that haven't played very often in their history are teams that we would not expect would be a top 10 matchup. But here we are with 7th-ranked Indiana going to Eugene to take on 3rd-ranked Oregon. What should we be watching in this one, Bill?
The defenses, both of them. Oregon's really good on D, especially in the trenches. Again, Mateo Uwangalele is a very good player. Dylan Thienemann's added to the secondary. They've mixed guys they recruited and guys they got in the portal. And then Indiana has a ton of tackles for loss. So they can create negative plays. And for Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza, we didn't have them in the top 5 in the Heisman race. Yeah. But both guys have played so well that I think it's going to be a very exciting game. My editor, Bill Troche, told me today, Indiana's the last Big Ten team to win at Oregon, and it was in 2003.
2003. I'm trying to wrap my head around that season. I mean, that was the year LSU won the BCS, beating Oklahoma. I'm trying to remember what Oregon was doing in 2003. I mean, was that Bellotti?
Kellen Clemens was the quarterback, and he went on to the Jets. And I laughed when I got to Matt LaVecchio was Indiana's quarterback. He played a little bit at Notre Dame before that. So, point being, this with the Big Ten, however they figure out, they can't complain about it because it's what they signed up for. But particularly for the traditional Big Ten schools going west, it's been a problem. So
yes.
whether you're so Indiana, Michigan on the spot this weekend, going to the Coliseum.
It's so interesting, Bill, just the time zone travels, and that's been certainly an angle that sports bettors have played. But look at Penn State going to play this past weekend against UCLA. Off an emotional loss, then you have to travel 3 time zones to play in front of friends and family. And then, lo and behold, 18, 19, and 20-year-olds behave like 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, and you get clipped by a team you shouldn't. That is fascinating. Is there a team in the Big Ten? Look, I think everyone obviously is having conversations about Ohio State, Oregon, and I guess by default Indiana as well. Is there a team maybe lurking in the Big Ten that you think could be a contender that people aren't paying enough attention to?
It's a big moment for Michigan and USC. The winner, if Michigan can go out there and win, their schedule looks pretty set up that they should be 10-1 when they play Ohio State. And then if USC wins and they can split with Oregon and Notre Dame somehow, they would be a 10-win team. So I think the winner of that game, they have a Rose Bowl history and all that. And, it's kind of a not even a strength-on-strength matchup. How does USC slow down Michigan's running game with Justice Haynes? And how does Michigan's secondary slow down Jaden Maiava, who has the highest passer rating in the Big Ten? I think you're going to get a game that's a lot like last year's 27-24. I mean, I thought it was awesome, and I think it's going to be a good game again Saturday.
Bill Bender's with us from the Sporting News. Bill, I want to ask you a thought on Oklahoma, Texas this weekend, because that's obviously another big one. It's a name on the marquee type game, even though Texas is really struggling, and we don't know what's going to happen with John Mateer's hand. What do you sense from a national perspective might be on the line for those two teams this weekend?
I've learned through watching it that picking that game is impossible.
Yeah.
I made the comparison today that it's kind of like playing a video game against your best friend. You're going to do anything and everything to beat them, even if it means you get out of what you normally do. It's such a fun game to watch. I think the Arch Manning criticism backlash this week has been a little out of control, honestly. I've got a piece on that at Sporting News. I talked to Kirk Bowles about it. He's the best person to talk to about Texas. What if he wins? Are we back on the Arch Manning bandwagon, knowing that Oklahoma has a top 10 defense? I don't know if material will play. I think he'll try to, but it's on Oklahoma. I mean, if you can't grip a football, you can't play.
Oklahoma's been so impressive when they've been at their best, but they've been a little out of sight, out of mind, right? They had a bye. They played Kent State. Material's been hurt. Does kind of feel like they're lurking. I'll ask you the same question about Alabama and Missouri, because it feels like we're going to find out a lot about Mizzou this weekend.
For sure. I mean, it's biggest. I'm trying to think of a bigger game for them since those years they were in the Big 12 and would play Oklahoma with Macklin and Chase Daniel. But it's a huge game, huge statement. I mean, last week kind of showed me that Alabama still has the largest target on their back in the conference in a lot of ways. Like Vanderbilt wanted to beat them. Missouri's going to want to beat them. Tennessee's going to want to beat them next week. And Kalen's done a great 180 from week one. Ty Simpson might be the best quarterback in the conference. And Jam Miller adds some physicality to their game. And Missouri struggled with that last year, but with Prabula and Ahmad Hardy's one of those guys that talked about a lot more. He's one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the country.
Bill Bender, just a couple of more for you. As we hit the halfway point of the college football season, which is weird to say, we do know objectively that there's going to be a G6, I guess we call it now, team that's going to make the college football playoff. If I asked you to pick who you think that's going to be today, what would you say?
Probably Memphis. And I know that's like, hey, why don't you just take the top team? That's lazy. But they've got the tough games at home. American race. And the American race is captivating because I'm going to sit up and watch North Texas and South Florida on Friday. North Texas is unbeaten. Navy and Tulane and, I'm leaving somebody out. Who am I leaving out in the American? They've got so many good teams that we're going to find out. And then UNLV has a chance out west with Dan Mullen. And how much will his stock go up with some of these SEC schools looking for coaches if Dan Mullen can win at UNLV and take them to the playoff?
South Florida's probably the other team in the American. Was that who you were thinking of?
They played North Texas Friday night on the road with that defense, and that's a great strength-on-strength matchup. So you have a lot of options within that conference, but I know Memphis plays their tough games at home, and they have that Arkansas win in their back pocket. Ryan Silverfield's done a fantastic job.
He is Bill Bender of the Sporting News. Always love to talk a little big picture college football. I can't let you get out of here without at least a thought on LSU, who got as high as number 4 in the country. They looked awful against Ole Miss, and they had an extra week to stew about it. So I know the temperature's cooled a lot. What do you think about the Tigers through a month?
Well, I'll ask you back. Like, has the temperature cooled off too much? Because they still have an elite defense. They had a week to get some guys healthy. Caden Durham, and they fought back in that Ole Miss game a little bit. I just think Trinidad Chambliss came out of nowhere and is very good. So if you look at LSU, a lot of ranked teams in the back half of the season, how do they manage that? And it's not bad to bring a pretty darn good defense with you in all these SEC slugfests. So I'm not as far off on them. I actually think one of the turning point games, believe it or not, want to see what they do with Vanderbilt next week.
No doubt.
And I think that could turn this thing one way or the other.
I'll be there in Nashville. Tigers win their next 3. South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Texas A&M. They go into their second bye needing really to go 3-1 in November, which effectively means they'd have to split Oklahoma and Alabama. And if they did that, they're 10-2 and in the playoff. But, man, as you and I both know, there are landmines everywhere, which is why college football is a lot of fun. You want to read about it, of course, you do so over at the Sporting News. He's Bill Bender, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Always appreciate it, Bill. Thanks for the time, man.
Hey, anytime. Thanks so much for having me. Take care.
Of course, it's our pleasure. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Y'all check them out online if you want to, because you could search a lot of their inventory online, but you can also go to the website at lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, and you can schedule your appointment there with one of their associates. And it's so worth doing because, look, you might feel uncomfortable walking into a jewelry store. And I get it. Like, guys, we don't do this all the time. We don't go jewelry shopping all the time. So it's not something that is very familiar and native to us. But at Lee Michaels, it's why they've done a brilliant job of creating and customizing what they term the Lee Michaels experience. You walk in, they'll give you something cold to drink, chocolates on a tray. You want to try on 1,000 rings, try on 1,000 different rings. If you're not prepared to buy something today, okay, they're not going to be pushy. They want you to be thrilled, her to be thrilled, you to be a hero, you to feel so great about what purchase you make within your budget. They'll work with you. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, and they've got 10 locations. And because they have 10 locations, they have the purchasing power to be able to offer you a great selection and great prices. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all, glad you're hanging out with us here. Lee Sterling in 15 minutes, his best bet. You might want to sharpen your pencil or get your DraftKings app out, because Lee was 4-1 again last week. He is on a heater here in this past month. So Lee Sterling's best bets are coming up here in 15 minutes from right now. And Jay Phillips in 45 minutes. We'll get a closer look at the Gamecocks from our buddy up there in Columbia, South Carolina. Stay with us here. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Okay, we're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, and I tell you about River City's 1 Hour Air every day and I have for years. But this is one of those really important times, because it's as the seasons change is when River City's 1 Hour Air has their seasonal maintenance. And so this is a really important one, right? So at River City's 1 Hour Air, now that the weather is going to be changing soon and getting cooler, you're going to be turning on that heater. Before you turn on your heater, before that first cold snap, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Have them come out for the heater safety check. This is so important, not just to make sure that your heater is running efficiently to save you money and so the unit lasts, but it's a safety check as well. Your heater is dormant. It can collect dust. You want to make sure before you crank that thing on that it's safe to operate during the cold weather months. You know, there are unfortunate stories we hear every year. I'm not trying to scare you, but about problems with heaters that cause problems at homes. Knock that out now. River City's 1 Hour Air.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, we're rolling along here. Halfway home on a Thursday edition of AFR presented by Decision Critical. I mean, how about this? Moms and dads, you're home with a new baby, you need to sleep. How about you call Decision Critical? They can come and they can sit with your child and take the overnights so you can get some sleep, even if it's one day a week or a couple of days a week. Everything can be a la carte, and they can do a la carte. They can service certain packages based on the amount of time. They are completely a concierge service at your service and disposal. Listen, last week on Monday, Drew needed blood labs. And many of you know a lot of the journey we've had with Drew, and he's a very hard stick, and you can't explain to him to sit still. And so we had nurses from Decision Critical come to our home at 9 o'clock at night last Monday when he had gotten his sort of sleepy meds to draw up his blood labs. And Shelly was so amazing. Like, they asked the lab to stay open late, and so she ran out of her house, sprinted out to get to the lab in time to get the blood spun and all the labs run. I mean, they're amazing. It is the best of the best when it comes to nursing. If it's, from birth to end-of-life care, maybe you get that critical diagnosis, Decision Critical. They're amazing, and they're all over Louisiana. They're formed in Baton Rouge, really a business that pivoted in COVID, as you might imagine, and has become such an incredible resource in all of the state of Louisiana. So no matter what corner of the state you're in, and they're about to open in Dallas soon, excited about that, but concierge nursing, Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com, our title sponsor here on Thursdays. Okay, every week, Muse, Paulie, and I give you 3 things we're watching in the football weekend. Let's do it.
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
Okay, Matthew Tarleton Musso, start us off.
No, that's not it. But I will start us off. We're going to start at the Texas State Fair. Red River Shootout.
No, football, Muse. We want football.
Yeah, the Red River Shootout
candy?
At the Texas State Fair. Oklahoma and Texas. I mean, we just had Bill on. He hit it around the head. No one knows what's going to happen in this game. The line movement has been insane.
Well, that's because of Mateer.
I know, but it's open Texas, flipped to Oklahoma with all the reports about Mateer pushing to play. Looking at it right now, it's back to Texas, 1.5.
Mateer ain't going to play.
So Mateer is probably not going to play. Shocking. He had surgery, almost 17 days ago. But anyway, I look at the total in this game, though, man. I think Texas' defense wants a bounce-back performance. We know Oklahoma's got a good defense. 44.5, backup quarterback for OU. Maybe the under's the play here, but it's going to be fascinating for a lot of reasons, including John Mateer's status and what happens with Arch Manning.
I'm watching Ohio State and Illinois. It's a ranked-on-ranked Big Ten battle. Illinois bounced back from an embarrassing loss to Indiana 3 weeks ago with wins over USC and Purdue. Ohio State, they're outscoring their opponents 187-25. Julian Sayin, he leads the nation in completion percentage with 80.2. And Luke Altmaier, he has 12 touchdown passes, no interceptions on the season. Ohio State currently a 14.5-point favorite.
Battle of the first and second picks overall in the draft from a year ago. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, part of a Monday Night Football doubleheader. I really like this Monday Night Football doubleheader. I like this. Give me more. Give me more football. Yes, give me more football. So, by the way, do you remember what happened when these two played last year? Jaden Daniels hit the 52-yard Hail Mary to walk it off for Washington. Daniels back last week. The Commanders went and beat the Chargers in L.A. Maybe the most impressive part of that is the 10 points the Commanders allowed. Big opportunity here for JD5 and the number 2 overall pick, JD5, to try to get 2 in a row against the number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams.
Rams and Ravens, noon on Sunday. Rams in a highly contested division out there in the NFC West. A 3-2 team, arguably could be 5-0, an overtime loss and a loss on a blocked field goal. Then there's the Ravens. No Lamar Jackson. He missed practice again on Wednesday. Still dealing with it. The Ravens 1-4. This is their last stand, although there were 2 reputable books that still had them the favorite to win the AFC North. If they're going to get that done, they got to take down the Rams on Sunday.
The AFC North stinks.
That's true. It's not very good.
It stinks.
Bengals Packers. The ageless wonder Joe Flacco makes his Cincinnati debut.
Again, the AFC North stinks.
Hey, Joe Flacco's elite.
Joe Flacco's the answer.
He's elite.
In Cincinnati. Jeez.
Definitely ain't Jake Browning.
He was benched in Cleveland for Dylan Gabriel. Jake Browning's now getting benched for Joe Flacco. Can he get the Bengals back in the playoff hunt after a 3-game losing streak?
No, he cannot. 2 teams that are in the playoff hunt, however, are the Chiefs and the Lions. And these are 2 teams that are going to play on Sunday Night Football. The Chiefs, they're 2-3, and a devastating loss in prime time where Trevor Lawrence fell down.
You can't touch him down?
He fell down, and it's almost like he was just going to pout that he fell down. He's like, oh, I can get up. And he gets up and runs. It's like, what did I watch? What? Especially since I had dueling bets there. My teaser bet hit, but Chiefs -3.5 or maybe -4 ended up busting on that. Trevor Lawrence falling down. Idiot. Anyway, this is a big one. Obviously, Chiefs are 2-3. They need to get in gear. Lions are 4-1. They've recovered since their season opened, an embarrassing loss.
Sneaky game in the Big 12 Saturday night. Kansas visits number 9 Texas Tech. I love the Red Raiders defense, man. I think that really is the cornerstone of their team. This is going to be a test, though, facing an athlete like Jalen Daniels at quarterback. I'm not going to say that Kansas is some great team, but they're good. And this is a test for that Texas Tech defense. I'm excited to watch it because I really like the Red Raiders.
You're not watching that game. Be honest.
I could have multi-view on.
You're not watching that.
I think it's a very sneaky game.
All right, go, Paul. We got to go. That's
Seahawks, Jaguars. You mentioned the sneakiness of Trevor Lawrence. The Jaguars coming off that thrilling win against the Chiefs. The Seahawks coming off the walk-off loss to the Bucs. The Jaguars have a chance to improve to 5-1 with a win here.
And the last 2 weeks, I've given you Bama, Georgia, Bama, Vanderbilt. So I'm not giving you Alabama, Missouri.
Oh, I saved it for you.
I'm just going to ignore it. Nope. I'm going to give you the top 10 matchup that has no business in college football or in any reality being a top 10 matchup. But my God, 7th-ranked Indiana at 3rd-ranked Oregon. And this is the 2:30 CBS game, which means our old friends Gary Danielson and Brad Nessler will be on the call. So, you can watch Oklahoma, Texas, or you can watch Brad and Gary call that top 10 clash with Indiana and Oregon.
I mean, you can watch Oklahoma and Texas and then catch the second half of Indiana and Oregon because this is still going to be going on.
They'll right as the bands are taking it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, that's what we're watching this football weekend. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. If you can't remember it, well, then remember it anyway. Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco Power Systems. These are industrial generators. Industrial Generac generator power. These are not generators for your home. These are generators for your business. What kind of business? Any kind of business. Or maybe you got a big event. Like coming up in a few weeks, you got that big Boots on the Bayou out at Lamar Dixon, the big concert. Well, you need big generator powers to power the stage and the portable bathrooms and all that stuff. What do? You call Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com. These are generators built for businesses. At Arco Power Systems, they say our business is your business. They serve nursing homes, grocery chains, hospitals, hotels, banks, chemical plants, gas stations, universities, governments, municipalities, literally any business that when the power goes out, you need a solution, you need Arco Power Systems. And they've got offices everywhere. West to San Antonio, east to Mobile, north to Little Rock, Austin, Dallas, Houston, they're everywhere. It's Arco Power Systems, Arco.com, Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com. Arco.
Polo.
What do you think? You think it'll fit?
I kind of like it. Polo.
All right, we'll grab a quick break. Lee Sterling's going to join us next. Lee Sterling, 4-1 last week on his best bet. So what do you do for an encore? Well, he's already answered that. It's been pretty good this year. Lee Sterling next. It's AFR.
After further review.
All right, you ready to sell your home? Or maybe you're looking to buy a home? Got to call my guy, Darren James. 335-7666. 335-7666. 335-7666. Or agent225.com. You see, Darren, on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America, gets to the closing table more often than any other realtor in the state of Louisiana. He's number one in Louisiana on the volume side. Nobody gets to the closing table more than Darren James. So if you need to sell your home, you need the best, you need Darren James. And if you're thinking about buying a home or selling your home, first you got to know how much your home's worth. So go to agent225.com, newly redesigned website. There's an awesome tool that's totally free. Awesome tool. It's totally free. It's the home value tool. Just go to agent225.com, agent225.com, hit the home value tab. They use local market data. It'll tell you exactly how much your home is worth.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders Pool.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
All right, let's do it. 4-1 a week ago. We were tallying it up. 14-6 his last 4 weeks. So a little bit of a heater here for Lee Sterling. How are you, Lee?
I'm good. Let me ask you a question. If you were Joe Flacco, you got traded, or they ask you, do you want to be traded? Could you go to a third team in the same division?
If the check don't bounce.
I guess.
Better chance of winning Cincinnati than in Cleveland. I'd rather throw to Jamar Chase, I guess.
Oh, I don't know.
T.
I
Higgins.
don't know about that offensive line, though.
I get it. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins will erase a lot of that for you, though.
True. That's true.
Man, it's this first one is fascinating, and we were talking about it in the break before you came on, Lee. Texas OU, there's just been a ton of line movement. I think it all centers around John Mateer. So how do you make sense out of this?
All right, so if Mateer plays, I would favor OU, and I would even lay 2.5 points. If he doesn't play, believe it or not, I like Texas. I mean, the offensive line should be better than what they've been. I mean, they were awful against Florida. They didn't even compete here. What's strange is Texas is 2-7 against the spread since last year's SEC championship game, and one of those 2 wins was a half-point win. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The craziest thing about the Red River shootouts, and I've probably been to 12 or 13 of them, whatever you expect, it's complete opposite. I'm going to predict Texas 20-17. I will not be involved in this game at all.
Okay.
But it wouldn't shock me if it's 49-46 in double overtime.
That would be so on brand. Hey, that's where Dicker the kicker made his legacy, was in the Red River game.
That's right.
Bama has been tested the past couple of weeks, and they've come up smelling like roses. Now they're going to go on the road to Mizzou. They're a 3-point favorite. Mizzou's look great. They look great on paper. Lee just hadn't played anybody, so this will be pretty telling for both those teams. Bama laying 3 at Mizzou.
So I think the one area that Alabama can hurt Mizzou is the cornerbacks and the secondary. And if he has time to throw the ball, Simpson, he's going to do some damage. If I was Mizzou, I would change up my coverages, mainly play zone, not let anyone get behind me. I think Mizzou can run the football on them. Now, Bo Prabella is probably the same kind of quarterback than we've seen them face, obviously, with Diego Pavia, but they have not faced anyone like Ahmad Hardy, who the Louisiana Monroe transfer, who's gained 730 yards, 9 touchdowns, and run for almost 7 yards a carry. The last 2 weeks, and trust me, those were tough, hard-fought games against Georgia on the road and also at home against Vandy. The top running backs, they don't even have half what Hardy has. So I think this is Missouri's circle game where they lost 34-0. Last year, Cook was playing on one leg. I think the Tide's not going to roll here. Rolling game favored, Missouri outright 34-30.
Your lips to God's ears. Let it happen.
I know.
The Aggies look pretty good, man, in the second half against Mississippi State. Now they're at home again, 7.5-point favorite over Florida. So what do we make of Florida from a week ago, Lee? Fool's gold, or may they find something there behind Billy?
I think they found something. And one of the main reasons is Dallas Wilson. I told everyone about this kid. This kid's something special. Watched him in the spring game. He is everything and more than what they thought. Watch the tape. Go to YouTube last 2 weeks and watch Marcel Reed. On 5- and 7-step dropbacks, he's taken an extra 2 steps. So he's developed a really bad habit, and he's distributing the ball too late. And you know what they say, when you throw the ball too late, 2 out of 3 things that happen are bad: incomplete or it gets intercepted. That's why he only has 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions over the last 2 SEC games here. A&M is also 5-14 against the spread as a favorite. I think A&M wins 24-20, but Florida covers.
Okay. Close game.
Yep.
Lee Sterling with us, ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. LSU and South Carolina both coming off of byes, Lee, and Tigers have had an extra week just to stew over that awful performance there in Oxford. It's a big number, man. LSU's laying 9.5 at home. How do they handle the Gamecocks coming in?
If they can't get it done this week and can't blow out South Carolina by double digits, I think this offense is never going to erupt. They're coming off of a bye, coming off of a loss, so you can be assured they're going to bring it. 4 of the 5 times, 23 points or less. I know South Carolina got robbed. I've heard it from every South Carolina fan all off season since that game last year. But even after those questionable calls, LSU is still 12-2 against the spread as an SEC home favorite. And I don't think Sellers is that good, and I don't like his weapons here. LSU 31-17. They finally beat a decent team by double digits.
Would love to see it, man. They need that injection of life in the offense in the worst way. We'll see if they get it coming off the bye. You got a thought on, look, Saints got their first win. You got a thought on the Saints hosting the Pats this weekend?
I do, and I thought the Pats would keep it close on Sunday night at Buffalo, but they just went ahead and won outright, even on back-to-back travel. I like their chances here. They've covered 5 of 7 on the road, including 2-0 this year. This is a nice letdown spot for the Saints. Hate to say it, but in that win, they get the 2 interceptions, get the fumble return for the touchdown. I just think that Drake May is starting to living up to that hype, and the defense ranked 24th in points allowed, but even that's deceiving. The average almost 20 points allowed in the first half, 7.2 in the second half, when most teams call off the dogs. Patriots 28-17.
Nobody here has got any delusions of grandeur with the New Orleans Saints. We understand what they are, so it's all good. Georgia-Auburn is the game of the week. You giving that out on the phone line or the website?
Yep, love the game. Probably the strongest game I've got this week. First 10 callers that call 800-400-9741. I will give it to them for free. 800-400-9741. And what a run it's been. We've gone 9-5. 9-4 and 10-1 the last 3 weekends, Saturday and Sunday. We've actually gone 5-0 3 straight Sundays. You want to try our 5 games on Sunday? 15-0 run, $55 for 5 top selections. They're ready to go now. You want to try us out through the end of the month, and we've got football every day now, every day through the end of November. You want to try us out through October 31st? We don't call it October, call it Locktober. Just $297 with coupon code SAVE200, ParamountSports.com.
SAVE200 is the coupon code. SAVE200 over at ParamountSports.com. We'll do it again next Thursday. Thanks, Lee. Good luck.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Be well. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. Weekend's almost here, so shop online, then go test drive your vehicle and drive it off the lot at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. They're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. And I'll tell you the thing for me that gives me the most peace of mind. Look, I love to drive the Volkswagens. They're fun. We get great deals on them, all that sort of stuff. But it's the safety features. Every time I put Drew in his car seat, I know I'm driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. And you could have that peace of mind as well. SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, Saints injury report is out. We'll kick off hour number 3 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone at Relief Windows. So check them out online at ReliefWindows.com. You can start there. Even if you want to schedule your consultation over at the showroom, go to the website, hit the button at the top where you can schedule your consult, and then you can go in and meet one of their associates. One of the great things about going into the showroom there at Relief Windows, by the way, the same designer that designed the LSU football operations building designed the Relief Windows showroom. It's awesome. But anyway, they have like 3D modeling where you can see, like if you're visual like me, and you don't want to just look at a sample of a color or a window or a door, you see what it would look like on your home. They can build a 3D model to show you what those windows, doors, siding, colors would look like on your actual home. Check them out, ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. Or call them at 288-8138. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parrish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parrishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parrishbuilt.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi with breaking NBA news from ESPN's Shams Charania. Lakers star LeBron James out at least 3 to 4 weeks due to sciatica on his right side. MLB Spotlight tonight belongs on the cities of Los Angeles and Chicago in a pair of Game 4s in the National League Division Series. Dodgers home to the Phils. First pitch in 8 minutes. LA starts Tyler Glass. Now it's Christopher Sanchez for Philly. Cubs facing elimination for a second straight game against the Brewers. And it's all hands on deck pitching-wise for Chicago, which looks for starter Matthew Boyd to perform like Jamison Tayo did last night, notes ESPN MLB analyst Doug Glanville.
Guys have to double up with these days off in the series. Everybody's rested enough, so they're all available, and they're going to have to find a way to execute a little better if they want to win. But Taillon set the tone, and they're going to need that kind of, 4 innings, 5 innings, at least set up the bullpen enough that you can get the best high-leverage matchups, especially at home.
Game 4, 8:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Phoenix forward Satu Sabali diagnosed with a concussion out of Game 4 WNBA Finals tomorrow night versus Las Vegas.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Friday as the Jags and Seahawks get set to face off. I'll tell you if Trevor Lawrence and Sam Darnold have done enough to be in my quarterback trust tree. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6 right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane's studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge and all over the state of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid! Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tompley. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Coming to you from the Raising Cane studio. Paul, can you get a shot of Cane 3 over here? We have multiple little Canes, and we got Big Kane hanging out with us as well. I don't know why all the other shows don't respect Kane. I like having Kane right there. Beautiful.
Well, I mean, Hester and Flynn, I mean, they had co-hosts there,
Big
but
plushie. There's plenty of space in
Hunt
here.
really didn't have an excuse.
Well, there's plenty. I mean, Hester here, Flynn there, Kane here, Kane anywhere. Lots of spaces where Kane could hang out. He was a good dog. I like Kane. Welcome, Kane. Welcome to our studio. You always have a spot in our studio, Kane. When I'm in here, anyway. If nobody else wants to let you in, that's their prerogative. But I like having you here. And some days I got to go find Kane on the big desk outside. In the hall.
Like yesterday.
Who's being so disrespectful? Kane doesn't have a toe.
Kane does not have a toe.
Pause. Kane has paws.
Pause.
4 of them, as a matter of fact. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We are brought to you by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing, DecisionCriticalBR.com. Jay Phillips in 12 minutes, covers South Carolina, does radio up there, has for a long time. CJ every year up at SEC Media Days, great dude. Always enjoy our convos. I was on with him a bit ago, so on his show, we'll do some reciprocal radio today. He'll come on. Then Mike Triplett at bottom of the hour. We'll talk about this, no doubt. Saints' latest injury report is out. The 2 players were DNPs. Isaac Yiadom, that's no surprise, didn't play last week, has not practiced yet this week. And, of course, the Saints added a veteran cornerback earlier in the week, very much with eyes on understanding that Yiadom probably isn't going to be available for the Saints again this week. So Isaac Yiadom was a DNP. So, too, was Devon Gottschall, but this was just a veteran rest day, so not injury-related. They just gave him a day off, which you see that a lot as you go throughout the season. There are guys who veteran players. The old Mike D-line, practice is for the unskilled. So you got veteran dudes that it's more beneficial for them to kick their feet up, take a day off, be rested and ready to go for Sunday. You do it that way. And by the way, for Devon Gottschall, he's going against his former team now. Of course, he was in New England. So that's the Saints acquired Gottschall from New England. So it's an opportunity in New Orleans, his home state, going against his former team. I'd imagine he'd be pretty motivated in this game on Sunday for Devon Gottschall. The other notables here, there were 3 players that were upgraded from limited to full. So Trevor Penning, who's got an ankle, he's upgraded from limited to full. Cesar Ruiz, who also, he's got an ankle, upgraded from limited to full. And then Justin Reed, who's been in the concussion protocol, he's cleared the protocol, went from limited to full participant. So Penning, Reed, Ruiz, all full participants. That's fantastic news. No doubt people will also be asking about Alvin Kamara, who was limited Wednesday. He suffered the ankle injury Wednesday in practice, limited again on Thursday in practice. So we'll keep an eye on that. But the fact that he's still out there is a good sign. If he had missed practice today and been downgraded, that would have been a concern for Sunday. But the fact that he was out there, even limited, is a good sign as he trends toward playing on Sunday against New England. Juwan Johnson still remains limited with an ankle injury. The other injury designations, Chase Young, who, of course, missed the first 5 games of the season with a calf injury for the second consecutive day, was limited, but again, out there practicing for the first time since the injury before the game in Week 1. John Ridgeway, who started the season on PUP, he had his 21-day window opened, full participant the last 2 days, so it stands to reason that if they want to activate John Ridgeway, he could play this weekend if he's a full participant in practice. And then Dylan Radins continues to remain on the injury report as a full participant, but with a toe. And I think we just got to salute Dylan Radins because you got a toe and you're a full participant. You're a mean guy. You're a tough guy.
Very tough. One of the toughest.
I'd argue the toughest.
Yeah. I mean, again, we see toe. I mean, Brock Purdy's got a toe. He's been out for weeks.
Joe Burrow, really tough guy.
Yeah.
Got a toe. He's out for months.
You got to be a tough guy to play behind the Bengals offensive line.
Yeah. You'll get a toe.
You will.
Happened to Joe. He got a toe.
So, I mean, hats off to Radins.
Radins or Radins?
Ellen Moore says Raduns, so I really have no idea.
I'm sorry. I thought Ellen said Radins.
Ellen Moore.
I think he did, and I heard him, I think it was Monday, say Raduns. And I was like, wait a minute.
All right, I need you to do some work on this, Muse.
All right, we'll figure it out.
I need you to go get multiple clips of Ellen talking about Dylan in regards to his toe.
In regards to his toe.
And how he pronounces the name.
All right.
Is it Radens, Radens, or Radoons? Because I feel like I've heard this every way now, and I try to be consistent. And what I would really like, maybe the best way to do this is let me hear Dylan say it. And like, that's the thing. I know I've mentioned this before, but LSU's got a place kicker who's been the place kicker now in his fourth season as LSU's place kicker. Right?
Yeah.
He was LSU's place kicker in 2022. So for as long as BK's been here, right? Of course, I'm talking about Damien. What?
No, you just didn't say his last name yet.
Well, I'm talking about Damien because everybody likes to say Damien Ramos.
Mm-hmm.
And I've played this video before. It's on his Twitter account. It's on Damien's Twitter account. Well, he's standing on some rocky cliff somewhere. And he says, "Hey, Tiger fans, it's Damien Ramos." Now, of course, I'm trying to find the video. I can't find the stupid video. But anyway, the point being, Damien called himself Ramos. So I'm like, this man called himself Damien Ramos. Did he delete this video?
He might have.
Did he hear me doing this? And so he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delete that. So he stops calling me Ramos.
I don't think that's what happened. I mean, he called himself
Is
that.
it? This might be it. No, that's not it.
No. That had music playing under it.
Is this it? No, I don't think that's it. No, that's not it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, I mean, he said his name was Ramos.
He's trying to make a liar out of me, Muse.
Yeah.
I have to find it. I feel like we've played it many times on air. Whatever. I'll scroll. I'll find it someday. So the LSU kicker calls himself Ramos, so I call him Ramos. So we need to find Dylan, Radens, Radens, Radoons, whatever it may be. I don't know, but I would love to get that accurate. All right, it's after further review. When my producer doesn't do this stuff for me, I have to do it live on air. Oh, here it is. Found it. Well, I mean, you could have helped me with this at any point. You could have said, "Hey, Scone, host the show," and I'll do this. Anyway, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, play it.
All right. This is LSU's kicker on a video posted on his social media. Here you go.
What's up, Tiger fans? This is Damien Ramos.
There it is.
You want to hear it again?
Let's do it one more time.
Want to hear it again?
One more time.
What's up, Tiger fans? This is Damien Ramos.
Dude calls himself Ramos. So you know what I've called him for 4 years?
Ramos.
Yeah. What's up, Tiger fans? This is Damien Ramos. Okay, that's good enough for me. I went to the source. Moreau.
Oh, please.
I know. He doesn't have a toe.
No, he's healthy now.
Thankfully. All right, it's after further review. Let's go to Columbia, South Carolina. We'll talk to Jay Phillips next on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Great news and many congratulations to our winners for the Get Gordon Billboard Design Contest. The first, second, and third place winners have been announced. Excited for them with all the prizes that we've been talking about. Love this. Madeline LeBlanc took first place. If you want to see them, they're all at Get Gordon on any of the social medias. Madeline's was the greetings from Gordon. Get it done. Pretty cool. Vintage postcard. There's Dancing with the Law, like Dancing with the Stars. That was from Amy Gonsolin. And then third place was Ghostbusters from Christine Cousins, who you going to call as Gordon in a Ghostbuster uniform. Great job by all. And you get an opportunity to see these billboards up around town. They'll be able to claim their prizes, a donation to the charity of their choice. Another way that Gordon likes to have fun, of course, with his marketing. But in the courtroom, dealing with the insurance companies, you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Need security services you can count on? With Veteran Security Services, you're always protected. Locally owned and proudly serving the Gulf Coast, they're not some big national firm chasing profits. They're neighbors protecting neighbors. From petrochemical plants and healthcare facilities to port and maritime operations, Veteran Security delivers reliable protection you can trust. Choose community. Choose confidence. Choose Veteran Security Services. Visit veteransecurityfirm.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com. The Tigers are on the hunt. Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Tigers and Gamecocks from Baton Rouge. Jay Phillips is good enough to join us. Jay does a radio show up there in South Carolina, and we get to see him every year over at SEC Football Media Days. 107.5 The Game. Hey, thanks for the time. Are South Carolina fans still bitching about last year, or have they actually grown up and realized you can't blow a 17-point lead on your home field and you can't horse collar a quarterback and you can't blindside block a quarterback on an interception?
I took a lot of heat, including from a regular guest of mine who's a former Gamecock, by saying don't give officials reasons to pull a flag out of their pocket. And everybody wanted me to say, the refs screwed us. I think they've gotten over it because it was a long time ago and they went on a big winning streak later. But if you ask, I don't know, Matt, if you ask half the fans around here why South Carolina lost the LSU game in Columbia last season, they'll tell you the rest.
Yeah, they're stupid. They're ninnies.
Well, I do have to make money from some of them, so I'm trying not to use that adjective, but I get your point.
No, I do, but I just because I don't really care. But anyway, hey, why is that offense not good this year?
A lot of musical chairs up front, which kind of goes back to 2 years ago when Spencer Rattler was a senior at Carolina, and just there he was under duress. I think they had 40-something sacks that season, and there were a lot of injuries. This year there's a lot of injuries. I think they have more experienced depth behind them, so they haven't maybe looked as bad as they did in 2023, but I do think that's part of it. And let's just tell the audience, your audience, you were on with me earlier, and you made a point that we've been making all season. Raheem Sanders is no longer on this football team. And you realize last year just how good he was behind Lenoris Sellers and just how valuable he was with the ball, without the ball, in the run game, obviously, but the receiving game as well. And they don't have that answer yet. They like Oscar Attaway. They like Rasul Faison, Those guys haven't produced. And I can keep going on this. You're probably gonna hear a name more this weekend. I'm not telling you he'll start, but there's a kid named Matt Fuller. He got a lot more run, no pun intended, against Kentucky, and he was talked about a lot this week in some of the press conferences with Coach Beamer and Coach Mike Shula. I expect to hear his name more. Mike even made mention of trying to get him to do things without the ball, so clearly that's a big part of it. And then, Matt, I don't mean to go too long here, but it's a long answer to an easy question. I've said on my show, I feel like Lenore Sellers, in a lot of ways, has not been himself. At least he wasn't until the Kentucky game. Against Virginia Tech, you could tell that some of the stuff they did in the offseason in terms of the pocket presence, he was really trying to work on. Took a couple of bad sacks in that game. South Carolina won. South Carolina State, you can't tell much about. Vanderbilt, he gets hurt and doesn't play but maybe a quarter-ish. Against Missouri, not really himself, but he did throw for over 300 yards. And again, against Kentucky, he was back to being him. I've said about Lenoris, in a few instances, he's made some bad plays for some good reasons. He's really good on the deep ball, but he's taken some bad sacks because of it, and he's going to have to correct those things. But between the line, playing musical chairs, and no solid tailback, it's just been hard for Carolina to get something going because every defense knows who the best player is. It's not even hard.
Their ability to score non-offensive touchdowns, though, is pretty remarkable, Jay. I mean, they've got 6 non-offensive touchdowns this year. And when you do it that often, it's not coincidence. Like, you're good at it. So why are they so good at that?
Well, Shane emphasizes that, and I told you I've dubbed because they have so many, and I expect them to score more. Maybe not Saturday night, but I expect them to get more. I've called them supplemental touchdowns because that's what they are, man. I mean, they just. I think Shane, as a coach, as someone who's coached so many positions, and certainly, I think we all talk about Beamer ball and special teams, but it's real, and it's part of how he was raised at Virginia Tech as a player, as the coach's son, as an assistant up there. He's coached special teams, but he's coached DBs and linebackers, and I think he understands the value, especially at a school like South Carolina, of having to find those. And again, I'll use the term supplemental touchdowns. Look, South Carolina's had some really good years. There will not be a time without winning a whole bunch of championships that South Carolina is ever going to be thought of as a Georgia and LSU when it comes to the level of talent. You're just not going to have it. So you've got to find those little places where you can make a difference. And Shane has really begun to instill that in the Gamecocks, to be prepared for those moments, to find the little wrinkles that they like. Listen, I'll tell you this: they had a fake punt, Matt, against Kentucky. It was 4th and 11 from about the Kentucky or from the Carolina. On their own side, about the Carolina 40-something. They got 10.5 yards on it, but Shane will tell you, and you could tell after the game, they saw a touchdown on that play. They had it, but the pass was just underthrown, and they didn't even get a first down out of it. But that was a play designed to score a touchdown, not to get a first down. So they really work hard in their film study to find those little places, and I think, and then they get the kids prepared for it.
And by the way, that was when they were up like 2 scores in that game when they ran that fake. So
he says they'll do it whenever, man.
Yeah.
They see they spend so much time on the look, whatever that look might be from the opposing special teams, scheme. And if they see it, more often than not, he's going to go for it.
Flip it over. Defense was so good last year. That's objectively true. They had NFL guys, and Kennard was the Defensive Player of the Year, and Tonka Hemingway and Emin and all the names that we all know. It looks like they're still pretty good this year, but how much of a drop-off, and maybe where's the most significant drop-off from last year to this?
I think up front they just maybe don't get quite the push, and they don't have quite the run-stopping ability that they did last season. I know we're all Southerners around here, so hockey is not huge, and I'm not a hockey fan, but they had almost they had a hockey line, man. You know how hockey just you churn them out every 5 minutes, and you got 3 or 4 new dudes that come out there all fresh. And South Carolina up front could do that last season, and they're not quite as deep up front. And I think that's been an issue. the linebacking core, I'll be honest with you, has been much better than I thought it was going to be this season. If I had, and I did this with my audience, I did it with fellow guests. What's the one area that maybe was the biggest concern in July and August? And for me, it was always linebacker. I think they've overperformed relative to expectation. And right now, South Carolina is missing who I think has, at least going into the year, was their best cover corner, Judge Collier. Now, he was hurt early against Virginia Tech and finally got back into game action against Kentucky, but I think he only played 15, 20 snaps, not too many. He was listed last night as questionable. I think you'll see him Saturday. To what degree, I don't know. Maybe not quite as good at the back, but Cisse has been good. DQ Smith is a veteran guy. Jalen Kilgore's going to the next level, obviously. He's got a brother, Gerald, who's pretty good. But I would say, you know how it is, Matt. If you can affect things up front, it has a nice little ripple effect going backward on defense, and they're just not quite up there yet. Everybody knows what Stewart's about. Brian Thomas has been good off the other edge. I like those guys, and I think they'll need to be busy Saturday.
Yeah. Jay, Carolina was just outside the top 10 in the preseason rankings. We know Sellers was picked as the preseason All-SEC quarterback. So I'd imagine for this team to be sitting here already with two conference losses is disappointing. What kind of is the temperature of the fan base right now, and what seems to be on the line this week coming to Baton Rouge? Because you ain't got to be brilliant to look at what's ahead, man. It's LSU, number 6 Oklahoma, number 8 Bama, number 4 Ole Miss, number 5 Texas A&M. Oh, you got Clemson as well. Like the gauntlet is here.
It is. And that's why I think there's disappointment in the sense that the feeling here before any game was played was you, at worst, need to be 4-1 as you go into this stretch that starts Saturday over there with you guys. And they're not. Now, again, you can look at reasons / excuses. Again, Lenoris goes down in the second quarter against Vanderbilt, and that changed a lot. Did it change everything? No, because Vandy was really good that night. Did Carolina win because of it? If he's back there, I don't know. Here's the thing, too, man. They had the lead going into the fourth quarter at Missouri. With 5 minutes to go, they were still only down 6, and they got the ball back, but they went 3 and out. So you've had your moments and opportunities. But, last year you were on the cusp of the playoff. And I'm not saying that needed to be an expectation again this year. That's hard for South Carolina to win 9 games in back-to-back seasons. But, now you're almost worrying, like, do you get to the, Gasparilla Bowl or something, And so I think losing to Vandy in Columbia was tough, regardless of how much better Vandy is. And so now you got to go steal 1 or 2 of the ones that you just mentioned. And that feels difficult. So I think there's an understanding that, again, as Lenoris goes, this team goes. And Lenoris missed most of the Vandy game, was not himself against Missouri, even though he threw for 300 yards, but he didn't run. And now here we are.
Jay, what's the blueprint for Carolina to win Saturday in Baton Rouge?
Well, okay. Lenoris is going to need to have a nice game all around. Again, I think I told you when you were on my show earlier, he's played well in his last 5 true road games. Not lights out, outstanding in all of them. I'd say the best one was at Clemson last season, where I think he ran for, I don't know, I think about as many as he threw for. It was like 170 each, and Rocket had a good game. He needs to do something close to that, and that ain't going to happen because he ain't going to run for that much. He needs to throw. He's good on the deep ball, Matt. So I think my blueprint is this. Early, try to stretch the field for South Carolina. Try to hit some deep balls to Nick Harbor. Try to pull that LSU defense, which is outstanding, backward just a little bit. Create some space. Maybe on some third downs, go for some big ones. And if you don't hit it or it gets picked, well, hey, it's like a big, long punt on third down. And then see through the course of the game if you can keep LSU's defense just a little bit more on its toes. Because if you can, and Lenoris can begin to run the football, then he's got space to run through. And he can be very elusive. But I think early, in terms of blueprint for your question, I think you've got to find ways to stretch the field and hit a few of those big plays so it gives LSU something to think about. Because like the Tigers, the Gamecocks are not good in the run game on offense, and I just don't see that changing this weekend.
Yeah, two teams that are really struggling to find it offensively. Be interesting to see how it all plays out. He's Jay Phillips, 107.5 The Game, covers the Gamecocks, has for a long time. Always appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Right back at you. See you soon, bud.
All right, man. Be well. It's after further review. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge, decisioncriticalbr.com. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. And I always encourage, if you're a physician, set up that lunch, that coffee with Blaise Rivette over Decision Critical. See the benefits that could be to your patients, referring your patients to Decision Critical, how Decision Critical can be an extension of your care in the home. They'll even come to the, like if post-op, they'll come to the hospital to be able to execute your orders in the home, helping your patients avoid hospital stays and visits. So if you're a physician, you need to get to know Decision Critical if you don't already. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Mike Triplett, talking to Saints as he does every Thursday. Can they make it 2 in a row? Talk about it next with Mike at AFR.
AFR.
Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where to find them. Siegen Air Airline, LA 16 in Dedham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every single day to buy local and shop local with our friends over at Clegg's Nursery. And right now, Miss Teresa was emailing me earlier in the week, and she's so good about emailing me this stuff. And they're great at Clegg's about posting whenever they get new shipments. They'll post on their Facebook. So always encourage you to check out the Facebook because they keep that up to date whenever new shipments come in at any of the stores, so you'll see it. But the fall flowers are the selection is incredible. Mums, petunias, marigolds, snapdragons. They've even got pansies that are perfect for fall color and winter color. So check them out over at Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations. If you're a deer hunter, they got Mobucks, they got rice bran, deer corn. They got everything you need for those plots. So what you waiting for? Bypass the big box store. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed
for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
All right, let's do it. Saints get on the board. They beat the New York Giants. Can they make it 2 in a row? Mike Triplett's here with us. Mike, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. So, in order to make it 2-0, what do the Saints have to do this week? 2 in a row, excuse me.
Yeah, look, I mean, they've kind of got their team at pretty close to full strength. I think that'll help. The full starting offensive line, Chase Young making his debut at defensive end. Justin Reed doesn't look like he's going to miss a game. So, I mean, they've got a fighting chance. I don't think they should be the favorites, but I think they, I think it's very realistic to think a similar performance. The young secondary making plays like they made. If they get a little pass rush, the offensive line can allow them to get their run game. I think we could have a competitive game on our hands.
I'm really curious. I'm glad you went to a couple of the injuries. Ruiz and Young are really interesting to me. Ruiz was supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks. He's only going to miss a game. And then it looks like Young finally is going to play after missing 5 games. So maybe if you would shed a little light on what's happened with those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's the opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Both showing what an inexact science it is to try to project the length of injury. I don't know that either was misdiagnosed or if Ruiz is just back on the early end of a range and Young is back on the late end of a range. Chase Young did talk about it yesterday that, with a calf injury, there's just so many examples of people who come back from that too early and then let it get worse. And he plays a position that requires a lot of explosion, so they all agreed that being cautious was the best approach. And then, with Ruiz, yeah, I thought 4 to 6 weeks as well. He did too. He said he was surprised how good he felt this week, but he was just upgraded from limited to full participation. So everything trending up in that area right now.
Mike, is there a matchup in this game that you could look at and you say, I think the Saints have an advantage there against New England?
Yeah. I mean, New England is not a fully formed team either. So whoever Christian Gonzalez is not covering in the secondary, there are chances at explosive plays with this team from time to time. I know Nick had a stat on our show today. I think they might lead the league in giving up explosive pass plays. And obviously, that's possible with Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. And they're not just always sitting back there in the two shell, we're going to make you chip away at us. So, that's where the Saints are supposed to be special, especially if the offensive line is healthy and gives Spencer Rattler some time. And then, I don't know that they have the advantage in the secondary, but after the way the secondary just played last week, they obviously have to contain Stephon Diggs, but there's some question marks in the receiving core for the Patriots. So really, on the two sides of the ball, like that's where they want to try to win this game.
Mike Triplett's with us, New Orleans.football, courtesy of Benny's Car Wash, the unlimited membership club. Highly recommend it. I'm a member. You should be as well. Benny'sCarWash.com, Benny'sCarWash.com. Hey, I'm glad you brought up the receivers and Shaheed. There was that report, I'm sure you saw it, from there was a radio host in Pittsburgh who said the Steelers inquired about Shaheed. Look, Shaheed's on a one-year deal. I'm sure they'd like to have him back next year, but the question is, what does he cost? Do you have any thought there on what may happen with Shaheed and possibly approaching the trade deadline?
Yeah, I have not been able to confirm that, they definitely inquired, but they should. I mean, when we talk about who should the Saints sell, what could you get something back for, Shaheed is high on that list. I mean, it's a guy not under contract for next year that would really help another team and that another team might be interested in, paying and extending. So that his name is on a list like that, but the the other factor in something like that is if you're trading a guy who is a free agent next year that would draw interest around the league, you could potentially get a compensatory pick for him, so you could keep him and get a pick for him. I think you'd have to get something special for him. I'd be shocked if he was the type of player that the Saints were just selling for pennies on the dollar at the trade deadline. I don't think they'll do that with anybody. I think any trades they make would have to be, the return would have to mean something, kind of like with Marshawn Lattimore last year. I don't think they'll just be handing players out for whatever they can get and compiling a bunch of seventh-round picks. But with someone like Shaheed in particular, I think it would have to be a really special pick.
What do you think about Groupie? What do they do?
Look, I don't disagree with the philosophy that both Kellen Moore and Phil Galliano said this week, which is we have enough evidence that Blake Groupie is worth trying to fix. Like we know we like him when he's working, and it's worth us putting the effort forth to see if we can fix him, as opposed to some sort of just punitive. You miss a kick, you get cut. Now let's see who's out there. They want to fix him. That's their top priority. But man, that's disturbing when you see 2 misses last week on top of the 3 previous ones, and he's been having kickoff trouble too. So it's just they're not hiding from the fact that he's going through something right now in his head, and that something needs to be fixed. They want to fix it. I would try to do the same for as long as I could, but I think they're pushing the envelope now on how long they can keep trying to do it, because it's cost them games.
You could argue the first 2 games of the season that he cost them opportunities, certainly, to be in position to win those games. Yeah. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football, NewOrleans.football. Okay, so there's this question at 1-4, Mike, where obviously you'd love to think you can get back in it, and you got a stretch here that feels manageable with New England and then Chicago, and maybe there's some wins out there to get it. But are there things where going into this game you would say, I'm not talking about moral victory, but the things that you would look at going into this game that you would like to see from New Orleans as they continue this progress from the disaster in Seattle a couple of weeks ago to what we've seen now the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, look, I came into this season thinking the number one thing you want to see if you're pulling for the Saints to be something again within a couple of years is young players that could emerge as building blocks for this team. So, prove that performance from the secondary was legit. Kool-Aid McKinstry is among the very most important players on this whole team, but what if Jonas Sanker proves to be somebody you found in the 3rd round, and Quincy Riley proves to be somebody you found in the 4th round? Nothing could be more encouraging than seeing strong performances from them. Obviously, the top of that list is Calvin Banks and Tali Fuaga, guys that you want to be foundational cornerstones, and you don't have to go back and draft any more offensive tackles in the 1st round. And then even guys who have a couple years left on their deal. Chase Young, I mean, they just signed him to a 3-year deal. Let's watch him, finally deliver on his massive potential. So anybody that could be a part of this thing for the next few years is always who I'm keyed on with this team.
Do we know what Chase Young's role will be this weekend? I'm assuming he's going to play, but do we know snap count or what the role will be?
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but obviously Carl Granderson and Cam Jordan have played well, so you are afforded the luxury of making that a rotation and not having to force him in any snap counts. But I mean, fully padded at Wednesday's practice, he doesn't look like a guy who's sort of just dipping his toe in the water. He looks ready to turn and contribute.
Awesome. NewOrleans.football is where you can read his stuff. He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. Give him a follow there. Our chats every week are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash. Go to bennyscarwash.com and you can learn more about their membership clubs. I'm a member. Highly recommend it. bennyscarwash.com, bennyscarwash.com. Okay, Mike, we always appreciate it, man. We'll talk next week.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you. We are brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. You're never far from a Shaw Bills location. So, of course, you can schedule your service online. You can shop tires online. You can check the deals online at shawbillstire.com. And, I say it often about Shaw Bills with their commitment to excellent customer service, and it's just with what they did whenever they opened their doors, in 1968. But, like Miss Beth Barron, who's Mr. Charlie's daughter, who now runs the company, this year she was named the Modern Tire Dealer of the Year. It's a national award from one of the trade magazines for Miss Beth and Shawbills. What an incredible validating, and not that you need awards to validate things, but it is validation for the amazing work they've done as long as they've done it. So you need to buy tires, buy the best tires at the cheapest price at Shawbills. And, of course, they'll treat you like family. So go to ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. Okay, we got Jimmy coming up for Auto Locks. I went and actually sat down with Jimmy and Charlie earlier today after their show, had a quick bite over at Walk-Ons, and I learned that there is a ton of stuff betting on tonight. I mean, Colucci dropped a trio of hockey picks. Injected in my veins. We got baseball playoffs tonight. You got 4 college football games tonight. You got an NFL game tonight. We're going to be betting on all of it. So, Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks to wrap it up next on AFR.
AFR.
When I get out of here, I'm jetting over to a fundraiser at the Renaissance Hotel right there on Bluebonnet. I tell you all the time that Renaissance Baton Rouge is a perfect place to host whatever event you have. If it's a fundraiser, an awards banquet, a wedding reception, a board meeting for a dozen people, they got 13,000 square feet of meeting space at Renaissance Baton Rouge. I mean, it's a gorgeous, sprawling, modern hotel that has all the amenities you need. Of course, Tallulah, the restaurant there inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge, the indoor-outdoor flow if you want to go out to the terrace and have a cocktail or a glass of wine, or whatever event you have coming. Allison Crump is the event manager at both Renaissance Baton Rouge and Watermark Baton Rouge. Of course, Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. But I'll be over at Renaissance. I'm leaving here and going right over to Renaissance for a KKDL event, Carnival Crew Day in Louisiana. It's a great fundraising effort. I'll be over there tonight at Renaissance Baton Rouge. Need security services you can count on? With Veteran Security Services, you're always protected. Locally owned and proudly serving the Gulf Coast, they're not some big national firm chasing profits. They're neighbors protecting neighbors. From petrochemical plants and healthcare facilities to port and maritime operations, Veteran Security delivers reliable protection you can trust. Choose community. Choose confidence. Choose Veteran Security Services. Visit VeteranSecurityFirm.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical. Glad to have you with us. DecisionCriticalBR.com. We got one thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing great, Matthew. I mean, our 6-run Major League Baseball's run, 6-game winning streak came to a screeching halt last night with the two favorites losing last night. But, you know, we'll back at them today. Dodgers, no score. Bottom of the third inning, and the shade, and it's kind of this 3 p.m. local start in Los Angeles. So now the hitters are hitting out of the shade in from the sun, and it's going to be tough against these two pitchers, man. Sanchez and Glass now really, really tough.
You like both the favorites tonight, Dodgers and Brewers?
I like the Brewers way more than this Dodgers game. We gave out the Dodgers earlier, but Peralta's been really good. He's their ace. And look, the Cubs, they have a really good team. The lineup's really good, and the future is bright with a lot of young stars. But Milwaukee's lineup is actually better. And they're the best record in baseball, and they've got their ace against one of the pitchers from the Cubs is just a tick off of what he was earlier this year. He's been really good, but significant pitching advantage on the hill, and they'll bounce back. They don't want to go to an elimination game in Game 5 in a short NLDS series.
You got a couple of college football plays there as well. You got an under, and you like Tulane on the against the spread.
Tulane, mild pick there. I was asking Paul Stone that earlier today, and I said, where did you put this line? He said 7.5. It's just under a touchdown, so 6.5. Hey, man, Matt Barry shucking oysters down uptown. So, look, everything's fine. A small play, something to watch, with Tulane there. But I do like the under in Louisiana Tech game. Louisiana Tech is 5-0 against the spread and 5-0 to the under. And the scores should be lower than they are. Louisiana Tech has 6 defensive touchdowns this year, 6 of them. So they've been fortunate to cover some of them. Their defense is very good, but this is an under. And if you want to hook it up with a parlay, I would bet Kennesaw State is a home dog a little bit tonight, but definitely under Louisiana Tech and Kennesaw State. And then tonight's NFL game, our buddy Randy McKay, I'll spare you with the stat with the Jets and the Giants on prime time, but we're on them tonight. We're taking the Giants. I liked what Dart, how he moved the ball in the opening series. Certainly, he didn't finish strong. That was his second start, his first road start. But I think that, I was just wondering how they would move the ball at all without Neighbors, and they did. Early on in that Saints game, they only stopped themselves. Really live dog against Philadelphia, who's playing every game close, whether they win or lose. We love the Giants. A Randy McKay special. He's our most respected NFL handicapper. We're on the Giants plus 7.5.
There's 3 picks that Colucci.
Oh, that's right. Matt, the Vegas Golden Knights had the power play in a 3-run, 3-goal lead, and they blew it. So, I mean, he's got Colucci's got the Golden Knights. He's got the Habs. I don't know why they call them the Habs, the Canadians. And then who was the third pick? The Dallas Stars. There you go. I think maybe a little plus money or right around even money. So one big favorite, that big favorite, the Golden Knights, I would do half money line or hook it up in a parlay and do half buck line. You know how they pull that goalie at the end, those empty net goals. So always do that with a favorite of like $1.50 or more.
All right. Tomorrow.
The absolute best is Hal Dane doing his daughter in the background and like the like screaming.
Yeah.
But Bellucci,
Kikuchi or whatever. Hey man, we've set the hook with the younger generation with the Colucci horn. Tomorrow, Football Friday at Rufino's.
Yes, indeed, man. We've been really good as of late. It's loaded down with picks, and it's not just straight picks. It's analysis, angles, information that'll help shape your own handicap, and if that's what you prefer. But really proud of the show on Friday, man, and we'll do it up all over. If Charlie and Dixon with film study, Dixon really does his homework, man. His content is awesome.
Yeah, man.
Starts at 10 a.m.
10-1 over at Rufino's, little Football Friday. All right, man. Good luck tonight. Listen for you tomorrow.
Good luck, Matt.
All right, thanks. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, because at First South Farm Credit, since 1916, they've done one thing, and they've done it better than anyone else. They help Louisianians buy land. So make sure that your first call is to First South Farm Credit. Remember, they got locations all over, not only Louisiana, but Alabama, Mississippi as well. Maybe, you live in New Orleans, you start having that family, you want to move to the North Shore, buy land, build a house, and continue to work in the city. You get the city amenities, but the rural lifestyle. You want that 100 acres in Tangipahoa. Well, great. They got an office in Amite. You can do business with people right there where you live, work, and play. It's First South Farm Credit. Maybe it's the tax benefit here as we approach the end of the year. As a landowner, you'll incur expenses. Could be a great tax deduction. Ask your CPA the benefits of owning recreational timber land. But whenever you do, make sure your first call is to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. That's FirstSouthLand.com. All right, y'all, we're just about to wrap it up here. Eagles and Giants tonight on Thursday Night Football. The defending champs can see Jackson Dart in his third start. Giants are at home, as you just heard Jimmy mention there. Brian Kelly meeting with reporters here to wrap up the week for LSU. So I'll have a Locked on LSU episode recap and everything Brian Kelly had to say as we head into Friday, which will be a Football Friday here in AFR as LSU gets ready to host South Carolina. So we will be at Don Juan tomorrow for Football Friday. We'll look forward to being there at Don Juan for Football Friday. And no Terrio tomorrow. Georgia Terrio, the youngest of the Terrio children, is on the homecoming court over at Parkview Baptist. So Ryan's going to walk with his daughter at the football game, which is awesome. So, of course, we'll miss Terrio tomorrow, but we wish Georgia good luck and hope they have a great time at the homecoming football game for Parkview tomorrow. So no Terrio tomorrow, but we will be at Don Juan Cigar Bar there in Town Center. We hope to see you for throws me off. Still throws me off. The new beat. Throws me off the new beat.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Just got to get used to it. Just the cadence. All right, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. Muse Pauly, thanks. Y'all have a great night. Big shout out to Blasia and the great team over at Decision Critical. Y'all check them out online at decisioncriticalbr.com. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
As we get on down the road, get to remind you about Our Lady of the Lake Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics. As they're fond of saying, Our Lady of the Lake and LSU together, we roar. Hey, get to the website if you're curious and learning more about that Championship Health Partnership. It's ololrmc.com/LSU. ololrmc.com/LSU. And you can learn more about the Championship Health Partner there with LSU and Our Lady of the Lake. How they're growing and learning and growing Louisiana's future, enhancing graduate medical education, integrating the student learning across many different disciplines, caring for the community, caring for the campus. It's just remarkable the way that these two very prominent entities have blended their cultures and their performance all together to create a better Louisiana for all of us. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority.
It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.